watching TSN, Canada's sports leader, a division of Bell Media.
45 minutes ago, Team Canada left their locker room for their final practice prior to meeting Scotland. Glenn Howard, Wayne Middaugh, Brent Lang, Craig Saville, Scott Howard trying to win a 34th title for Canada.
So we're right where we want to be.
St. Jakobshalle here in Basel has been the site of this year's Men's World Curling Championship presented by Ford of Canada. As the Scottish fans are ready, Canadian fans too. We're ready for this gold medal game. Once again, it is the Scots from Aberdeen, led by Tom Brewster. Last year losing to Jeff Stoughton in the final in Regina, this time going against Canada. And Glenn Howard, thumbs up as he looks for a 4th championship for himself. As on this Sunday, we say hello, Canada. And welcome to our final broadcast from here in Basel. Linda and Russ alongside. The Canadians yesterday won the 1-2 page playoff game. And by Glenn Howard's own admission, Russ, he says he didn't play very well. But the thing that we've seen this year, when he has those downs, they don't last very long.
Not at all. That was their B game for sure, Vic, but their win with the B game, that's the scary part about this team. They're so consistent. Won the provincials undefeated, won the Brier with only 1 blemish, 1 loss here, first place, won the 1-2 game. This team is so consistent, Vic. They're not going to lose this game. Scotland's going to have to beat them.
So it makes you wonder about Brewster. When you think back to a year ago, he lost 3 games, losing the final, as we say, to Stoughton. And then here, of course, he's lost 2 games, round robin and the 1-2. What gives you any thought that he can win this?
Well, it's the same Tom Brewster in some ways. Intense, emotional. Yes, he's like that. He's in every game. But also this team over 12 months has changed. They recover better from mistakes. I think the best example is in the 1-2 game. Big mistake against Canada. Gave up 4. The next game, the semifinal, Tom had better draw weight. Greg Drummond, 96%. They were such a different team.
Now, Greg Drummond had an absolutely brilliant game at 3rd against the Swedes in the semifinal.
Yeah, and that's going to be a key because he's going against Wayne Middaugh, who's had a terrific year as well as a great Worlds. And so Greg is going to have to be at his best.
And when you talk about the Canadians, especially the front end, and Craig Saville and the way he's able to set the stones in the right position. But yesterday we saw a couple go in maybe a little deep, maybe in that not in the right spot.
Yeah, that was an off game for Craig. I expect him to bounce back even stronger, and that's scary news for Scotland. He puts them on the X. But what's more impressive about that front end is the calm, cool demeanor as those rocks come down the ice. They know where it's going. They put it in the right spot.
And Wayne Middaugh still Mr. 90%. He slipped a little bit yesterday, but boy, has he ever bought in.
Oh, we only have to look back to the Brier final for Wayne Middaugh, what he does in a big game, 98% against Kevin Cooey.
And so here he is, 25 years after winning his first World Championship. He goes for 4. It is Canada, Scotland, when we come back to Basel.
The 2012 World Men's Curling Championship is brought to you by Ford, official automotive partner of the Canadian Curling Association.
Look, it's okay to take the occasional gamble, as long as it's something like switching from boxers to briefs. But you never roll the dice on your truck. So go with the sure thing, Ford F-150. J.D. Howard Associates just gave F-150 their highest award for initial quality. Add to that the best mix of torque and fuel economy you get with its EcoBoost engine, and your money, baby. This is the future. This is the Ford F-150.
love Tim's fruit smoothies.
Yeah, peach mango. So tropical.
Imagine we're enjoying our smoothies on an exotic beach when a hunky lifeguard surfer approaches.
Anyone seen the Staples?
Bye-bye, stapler guy.
Made with a full serving of fruit. Tim Hortons Real Fruit Smoothies in new peach mango. Just $1.99.
So this gold medal final from Basel, Canada against Scotland. Time to meet the teams now, brought to you by Ford. Drive one. The Canadian champions are the Coldwater and District Curling Club in Coldwater, Ontario, with 49-year-old G.Howard at the helm, with Craig Saville, Brent Lang, and Wayne Middaugh throwing the third stones. The Scottish champions are from Aberdeen, and they are skipped by Thomas Brewster, this entire team in their second straight world final, with Michael Goodfellow, Scott Andrews, and Greg Drummond. Canada will have the last rock here in this opening end of play, playing the Yellowstones. That's because they won the 1-2 page playoff, 7-6 in that extra. Scotland will play the red, and so here we go. It's the gold medal match of the Men's World Curling Championship, presented by Ford of Canada here on TSN.
It's a long season, and as a player, all you want to do is bring your very best game to the biggest game of the year. That's the last one, of course, the gold medal game at the World Championships. The experience from last year will help this Scottish team, but they are still young, and they're going to have to keep their cool if they hope to win this game.
Clean now, clean.
Now, when we think back to yesterday's 1-2 game, Canada had the last rock as well. And there was a blank in one, blank in two before the Canadians got on the board with a single in the third.
Yeah, the spectacular four-ender obviously was the difference in the game, but credit to Scotland to fight back and take that to an extra end. You get down to a single end, doesn't really matter, anything can happen.
Yeah, that four came in the eighth, and honestly, I thought it was going to be over, but then the Scots replied with 2 in 9. They stole 1 in 10 with the last rock draw of G.Howard, either caught, maybe got the frost, and it came up light, and that forced them to go to the extra.
I think a lot of this game will depend on the front end for Scotland. We've seen Craig Saville and Brent Lang for Canada position those rocks so well and get other teams in trouble so many times. So for Michael and Scott, the Scottish front end, they will have to play well and make sure their rocks are positioned well, not deep. Make sure the guards are right in front of the rock in the house. Every little detail has to be perfect today.
Clean, clean. Out of bite, Mike.
And so for Canada, it's to use that early hammer and the great front end positioning to apply the pressure on Scotland. For Scotland, we said try to shrink the game, be a little more open. I think they avoid the high risk early and wait for their opportunities.
The game plan is brought to you by World Financial Group. Your dreams are strategies.
Still there. Okay, we're there. Bouncing. Okay. Not much though. We'll curl a little bit. Curl. Curl. That's pretty good.
And down on the corner, Craig Saville. Canada again with the last rock here in this opening end.
Now, one thing for Scotland in this game that will be very interesting to see how they cope with the quiet weight, the tap back to hack weight, because that is a little piece of the puzzle that's missed for Tom Brewster over the last little while. They play the big weight well. We saw them recover and play the draws well in the semifinal, but these taps may be the key.
You're absolutely right, Linda. That's that in-between shot that they did struggle with throughout the week, and certainly in the 1-2 game.
Nothing now.
Somebody who had two struggling games, one against Canada and then again in that semi-final, was the Scottish second, Scott Andrews, as he gets to the nose and punches the Canadian stone out the back.
And it definitely was the quieter weights that Scott did struggle with, and that's a great sign to see the lovely control of tap weight on that shot.
Especially in the biggest game of your life, it's so easy to overthrow those, the adrenaline. You just can't believe how fast you get to that hog line. Perfect speed by Scott.
Brent Lang.
Yep. Whoa.
Nope. Drives it by. Rolls the shooter over to cover the 12-foot. So the Canadians have 2 guards up. Scotland is sitting 2 staggered. Top edge of the 8 and top 12.
Looks bad, but it really isn't for Canada. There's 2 corners in perfect positions. They're deep enough that a come around will be tough to get at. They're long enough it's tough for them to raise, and they're both Canadian rocks. So they just have to deal with what's in the middle here, and they're all bunched together.
See this one. Nothing. Close. 2. Whoa. Off. Yep. Hard. Curl it. Hard. Go. Get down. At some point we'll go after this one behind the back.
Running this back, Russ, can he touch everything?
I think he can. Little high side for Langer. That rocks, and the line was good, Linda, but it's pretty tight, and it makes the shot a little bit easier. Now, triples aren't easy, but it's there.
Nothing yet from Madal. Or Saville, all on its own. Come up, run it back, touch them all, and needs it to spin a little more. Howard trying to drag it as far as he can, and they'll get it to the edge of the 12 as it pops out in the open on the wide side.
All of a sudden, presto, the corner guards are in play, and Scotland now has to be careful.
It was interesting to watch that Scottish guard as well. The Brushers seemed to have a little trouble with judgment sometimes, and they were calling out that that was maybe only a halfway guard, and it did slide very tight. So we'll keep an eye on their judgment. Right now, the counter-attack for this for Scotland is to go around the corner guard, and this could be a very difficult way to approach it.
I always felt with Hammer, I just loved it when the opponent went around a corner guard early in the end without the advantage of Hammer. This is a real good situation for Canada.
Greg Drummond.
Go, mate. Come on, he's good. Hard.
Curled into the 90% yesterday in that semi-final win over Sweden.
Excuse me. Gonna go around? I like. Not really. I think you gotta get rid of that. No? Pretty long though. Okay. Yeah. I can get it, but. You wanna get to the nose? Back line? Okay. Just through? Okay.
Not afraid to play the tough shots. Glenn's asking for a takeout and get to the nose. You only see half of that rock. Wayne has to be very, very tight to that corner guard.
Hard. How heavy? Whoa. Hack. Whoa. Light hack.
So maybe a little more weight than called for.
That's great. Off. Go far? Stay with take it to the center line.
And they will push the stone out the side, roll the shooter to the top 4.
Wayne got by with a little bit of room, Linda, but I don't think he'd ever get to the nose there. That's a good shot. Hang around.
And try and move the play around, make Scotland find a way to get a rock in a good spot so Canada can't utilize that corner guard.
Body out! Yep! Hard! Go, Mike! Hard!
Trying to hold the line for Drummond, and they do, so it bangs it right on the nose.
Joe. I think it'll come up, Wayne. Firm board. Okay.
Team Canada can roll either way here, but they've elected to go towards the Scottish rock.
How's that? Yeah?
If they have to, they can play the thin double.
Okay. Yep.
Should be some pebble here for Wayne, so they have to be aggressive here. This could really cut from the hog line in.
Just because everything's so fresh.
Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't have practiced in this spot, Vic.
Now they need to get to the corner of this. Brushers have backed right off. Now looking for the rollover. There's the catcher for him, and it sits there, and it is covered. That corner guard comes into play, put up there by Craig Saville, and Canada is sitting 1 back of the 12.
Board. What's that? Is on the board there? They said up board. It wasn't. It was board here. Good shot. Thanks.
Beautiful shot. They really were trying to roll on top of it, which would put a little more danger on the Scottish side. But the double's huge because there's still now an opportunity to either blank or still score the deuce because that is buried.
I'm sure that Tom Brewster would be preferring to hit. That is his go-to shot. It's a way to get sort of into this game. Right off the bat, he's going to have to try and find draw weight and freeze to that Canadian stone, get it in a good spot where Canada has to counter with some sort of draw and can't count the one in the house.
Skip Stones here in the first.
Get to it, go! Oh, we're on there!
Michael Goodfellow on the left, Scott Andrews on the right. They've backed right off.
Whoa, Scott! Scott!
Backed right off, and right down on the corner. Lovely shot here in the first, Tom Brewster.
Just straighten down about heel.
Same thing.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Freeze and sweep it if we can.
Yeah, exactly.
That looked pretty good, Glenn.
That looked like it slid well.
Yeah.
I'm thinking at least 4.5, maybe better.
I'm thinking same as similar to draw off, no faster than that. What'd you call the draw off in practice?
4.5.
Okay, it's real close to that.
We've said before how involved this front end is of Saville and Lang. They could very well skip the game. You get that kind of feeling from them.
I'm so impressed. If you wanted to run a clinic for how to be a front end, you just run one of these tapes with the volume on. The communication's really special with these guys.
Whoa, whoa, man, whoa! Whoa! Off! Off! Right off. Close, Savvy. Stay close. No, no, no! No, no, never, 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 never. On our yellow. On our yellow. Hard as you can. Hard as you can. Hard as you can. Okay. Good shot. Shot.
They knew at the hog line, Linda, that it was going to be a little heavy and it was going to just be that extra bump.
They didn't mind the tap, but it's interesting. Tom said the same sort of thing. It's not necessarily curling past that guard the same way sometimes we see some finish. So they had to be really careful with how much weight it had to let it finish to get closer to the nose.
Okay.
Still a difficult one here. Tom over curls. It'll be a draw the 8-foot for 2. If he's a little heavy, it bounces wide open.
One of the mistakes we did see Tom make yesterday was cutting down the ice at times. You have to throw draw weight. This isn't a tap, and to do that, you have to take the right ice to get there. You can't cut it down too much.
Whoa! Right only. Close! Whoa! No bounce, Scott! Don't bounce it!
Now you don't want to bounce off, and did they? Yeah, they get there. Sits right there. It is the shot stone for the moment.
Nice week, though.
No. Oh, that's nice curling.
But I don't think that's going. I don't think that's going anywhere.
It only has to move.
Well,
I don't know. If this comes in.
If that comes in, your shooter comes in. Yeah.
That's 2.
That red does not move. Well, he doesn't need to if it bounces in off the bat.
I don't think I need very much weight.
We hit half with board.
I think you need to throw board.
Board, anyway.
Board, you're trying to hit and roll center line, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hit and roll there.
Right?
You got the whole thing?
Dragging into it, though, that's all.
Huh? This yellow rock right here, it's going to go right back onto the red, so it's going to stay. That yellow will stay right back here. They can definitely move the red left. Can they save the shooter? That's the key. Miriam Ottawa won a world championship with a similar type of shot.
Very much. Absolutely beating Sweden 2 weeks ago today in Lethbridge. Final stone, first 10. Scotland right now has a stolen point. Saville Lang, as they so often do, jump the stone early. Called right off now by Madal. Watch them go. Did he? No, now it's a question of whether the shooter stays. And did they move the red? No, they did not. It looks like a steal of 1 for Scotland here in the first.
The 2012 World Men's Curling Championship is brought to you by Sponge Towels Paper Towels. Nothing absorbs like it. By World Financial Group, proud to be a sponsor of the Season of Champions. Your dreams, our strategies. And by Tim Hortons Real Fruit Smoothies in New Peach Mango.
a live TV on your phone?
Yeah, I'm catching the game now.
That's TV? How many channels you got?
26.
Let me see. Oh, I love that show.
Isn't that your number?
I'm in no hurry. Shove over, darling. Oh. Now see, that's how you treat a woman.
Bell brings you superphones with over 25 live TV channels.
Sponge towels are ready for anything, thanks to the super absorbent sponge pockets. Sponge towels. Nothing absorbs like it.
Bell gives you the movies and TV series you love. And whether you're in the mood for something deep or something a little more shallow,
He's okay looking.
you'll find it on the Movie Network. Sign up now and get 50% off for 6 months, only with Bell TV. Enjoy premium movies and exclusive TV series uncut, commercial-free, and in stunning HD. All for one low price.
Welcome to Transamerica, where together we're transforming tomorrow.
Your husband put this all together when Emma was born.
He was an amazing man.
This is for you. It's all paid off.
And this is for Emma.
So where do you think she'll go?
Anywhere she wants.
We're making people a more secure tomorrow. What can we make with you? Transamerica. Transform tomorrow.
The Rhine River as it passes through Basel on its way to the North Sea. As we welcome you back on this final day, championship day of the Men's World Curling Championship presented by Ford of Canada from Jakobshalle here in Basel. Scotland steal one in that first.
This one's got line.
So Canada
Line's
will
okay.
once again have the last rock. They have the hammer playing the Yellowstones here in 2.
Just 3 guys.
Scotland
Just
comes
3.
in,
Just 3.
top of the 8, corner goes up from Canada, and this is the second of the Scottish lead stones, Michael Goodfellow. As we were going to break, G.Howard said they jumped it, which means the brushes may have straightened out the stone a little bit. Do you think he was right in that, Russ?
Yeah, maybe. And we heard Tom Brewster on his shot say his straightened out a little bit too, so that both of them were fooled a little bit, but that was a wickedly tough shot. Linda and I were both wondering if it was even worth the risk, because if he hits it thinner, the shooter would have to be thrown so much lighter. I'm not sure. Tom put that on that corner pretty nice.
So one thing you have to be careful with, you're in the big game and sometimes you start thinking big shots, and really it's just the same thing. If you look at the odds of what can be made, sometimes you just have to assess that the opposition made a great shot and take your signal and move on. This was an interesting start to the end because Tom apologized to his lead, Michael Goodfellow. The rock over curled and said that spot really swings. So that's why the rock started off center line, and now Canada's got that nice corner guard up, and Scotland's trying to fight to not let the play move over to that side of the sheet.
High board. That far roll.
Roll behind the red would be decent. Rolling behind the yellow would be great.
Wall. Wall. How heavy? Wall. Wall. Close. No. Wall.
Brent Lang.
Okay. Just set it a little bit. Good throw.
And it just couldn't come back for him. Bangs it right on the nose.
Yeah, that's it. Rolling nice.
Place it off. Yep. Hard. Gotta go. Hard, Mike. Clean. Whoa, sorry. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Okay. That's straight there. He's straight back there. Brent really got his bark, so.
Sometimes I'm just, this cat and mouse game. Interesting that Tom Brewster would say within earshot of G.Howard, that's straight there.
I like that.
Sometimes does that go on, Russ?
No, there's no chance, Vic. I wouldn't think of doing something like that.
But he also said fairly loudly that Brent set his, and Glenn said it fairly loudly too. I don't think these are two skips that are going to get fooled on their releases and thus the ice reading. They know pretty well what's going to happen every time that rock is released.
Wow. Oh, maybe it is straight there.
I think it is.
Yeah, Tom was telling the truth.
First one I set, that one was on
okay. Right.
Quick board.
Yeah. Barrier. Pistol straight down here. Barrier. Yep. Wow. Wow.
Playing third stones now here in this second.
Whoa. Yep. Hard. Hard. Clean.
Nearly bumps the Scottish stone in behind cover.
Yeah, I think so.
What is it?
Pretty thin.
Eighth. Third.
Third.
You want to just do normal?
Okay. Peel. I like peel, Glenn.
Yeah, just make
Hey.
it.
Peel.
Might spin up.
Wow.
It's fine.
Pretty
Okay,
thin.
peel.
The difference in the weights, is it negligible? I mean, why would he normal as compared to Peel?
Well, to be, first of all, Wayne just loves Peel. That's his go-to shot. He just loves this. Here's an example. Bang, bang.
And there's a reason, sure.
But it's definitely a difference where Glenn puts the broom. If he throws normal there, you probably need another maybe 3 inches of ice, Vic.
And the thought then, Linda, that the stone may have ricocheted up towards the guard. It didn't.
See what it does?
No, it's where you hit it. He hit it a little thinner on the first. That minute stuck on the second. And although it's not behind cover, that was not the goal. It's trying to make sure the red ones are gone and slowly work your way over there. Glenn's a very patient skip and really maps things nicely in his mind. He knows how he wants to get there. He just doesn't have to get there right away.
Whoa! Hard! Yeah! Whoa! Whoa!
Almost got it there. Greg Drummond, as we said, played very, very well yesterday in the semifinal against Sweden and appears to be off to a good start here. Scott Taylor, longtime coach of this team. You won't see him come to the ice to talk strategy, but boy, this team is as well prepared when it comes to their knowledge of the stones and just in the overall preparation for any game.
Good boy, winner.
And he'll roll it back towards center line. Again, just grabbing the top of the 12.
Thanks.
Interesting call here. Tom's decided to hit it dead on, which won't put him in the rings. He could roll towards the center if he wanted.
Try and stick it.
Okay.
And the reason is we see Coach Ron Brewster.
Yeah, Ron is interesting fellow because just the way he handles this team. He's always got the positive outlook for this team. And, they've had a couple of games where they've been a little negative, but he's always been there with that positive reassurance.
Gotta go, guys. Real hard. Hard, Mike. Hard, Mike. Please.
You want to get it behind? No.
So the reason is when you're trying to decide what to do with that rock as it crept up the house, and Wayne makes a double, so there's only the one rock in there. If you roll in, then you maybe leave the corner, come around for Glenn. So Tom does like to leave his stone out front, make Glenn play around the red one as opposed to the Canadian guard, and then the run back is possible. And that'll, of course, mean that Glenn will think about how much to bury this one.
You do. Do you want this?
No.
Roll this one first. Okay.
Got to be draw off, boys?
Yeah. It's the same.
Would you also take it a little deeper, realizing that makes the run back longer, but if you do go back T-line, you know that maybe Scotland will follow you down.
Yeah, and that might be the shot that they feel they can get Tom Brewster on. Mind you, he's two perfect shots in the last end speed-wise, so it's hard to say what you want to leave Tom so far today.
Line's good. Good. Don't want to go.
Okay, well then, off. Where do you want it? Where are you going to go with it?
Stop. I think you got to go there.
You got to go deep. Got to go deep, I think, don't you?
No, it's
dropping, eh?
Wow, good finish. Very nice finish.
Yeah, I think that's grabbing something in the house because it doesn't normally turn like that as it finishes.
T-line picked a little bit.
Tom trying to clean it up a little bit.
How much, guys?
Over half.
Yeah, or run back. If we stick the run back, we might get steal or force.
Whatever you're happy with. You just use throwing it.
What do you like?
Happy with both.
You're the boss, Tom. You have to choose.
Tendency would be before you decide.
You want to throw barrier on the inter?
Oh, is that interesting? You would think he would lean to the run back, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think that's what you're going to see. I really do.
Get force, yeah. Absolutely.
There you go.
Inside edge, or is it here?
Yeah, it does do it well.
Visibly, it looks better, Vic, when you're raising the red rocket, but it isn't any easier. Tom hits this half a rock high side, a little low side. He completely misses it. It's a draw to the ocean for two.
Yeah. Should drum pretty straight, yeah. I think so.
And you just watched him hit and stay, but he used the other turn.
Scotland plays a lot of these. Their success rate isn't as high as you might think, though.
Final stone for Scotland here in the second. They lead 1-0, trying to run back, trying to force Canada if they can. Run it back, got it? You bet he does. And now, where will this roll? Did it pop out the wide side? Oh, it just may have, and the Canadians could get out of this.
Good sweeping. Drop. Not the greatest slide in the world.
I don't think that was completely on target when he let it go, so nice job of holding the line, and yes, it did roll a little too far, but still a nice run back all the same.
Hits it any thicker and or higher, and it would have stayed buried, forced Glenn to draw.
So the chance for Canada to get out of this with a blank and take the hammer to the third.
Yep. Right to it. Yep.
There they both go, so blank goes on the board here in the second. Scotland continues to lead. Canada continues to hold the last rock.
Is that the mover?
Okay, look. When gas prices jump, you still gotta work. So suddenly you're cutting back on everything from family vacations to cell phone minutes. Well, here's a thought. How about cutting back on gas? Here's how. The Ford F-150. It gets 32 miles per gallon highway. That's the best. So you can get the job done and get a break at the pump. Yeah, can you hear me now? This is the future. This is the Ford F-150.
Mom, are you done yet? Almost done. Want to watch some TV? Yeah.
Hey, kid, you get TV on that?
Yeah, it's got cartoons, music, news, sports.
Sports?
Yeah, I'm watching the game right now.
Sweet.
Last one, I promise.
Take your time, Schnookums.
Schnookums? That is why I don't have a girlfriend.
Bell brings you superphones with over 25 live TV channels.
Before we got the Capital One Aspire card, we never had enough miles to get away together.
Aloha.
Isn't it beautiful, honey? Let me show you around. Wait till you see the clubhouse.
I can see you, Carl.
But now, thanks to Aspire, I get double miles on all my purchases, so we can actually get away together.
The Aspire card. Get 2 reward miles on every dollar spent, plus a $35,000 first purchase bonus.
What's in your wallet?
I can see you, Carl.
1 year into her curling career, Mary Dobbin made the shot of her life, only to lose by 1. But since then, she learned how to hang the points on the curling club scoreboard. and finally bought some real curling shoes. This spring, she raised money for charity and met her curling hero on the same day. For her efforts, she was voted into the Hall of Fame. Well, a Hall of Fame. Yes, Mary Bullseye Dobbin has had quite a year, and it all started with a click.
How are we going to get all these baguettes into the box?
No. I can still see it there.
Yeah.
Why don't you just make them smaller? You know, bite size.
Bite size.
Crispy Baguettes Bites, made from freshly baked oven-toasted baguettes in delicious flavors like bruschetta and garlic parmesan. Crispy Baguettes Bites. Available where you find Melba Toast.
Well, we said that Tom Brewster of Scotland loves to play the run back and maybe just got a bit of a bad break on him.
Just overcurled a hair in a spot he hadn't played. But most teams would just hit that open rock. You could see 3/4, but Tom wanted to play the aggressive call. If he sticks at it, it's buried, forces Canada 1. Nice try.
But it pops out into the open, and Canada is able to get the blank. The key shot is brought to you by Scotty's Facial Tissue, stylish designs for any room. So the blank in 2 means Scotland continues to lead. And here in 3, the Canadians, once again, will have the last rock. They have the hammer playing the Yellowstones. This is the Scottish lead, Michael Goodfellow. The Scottish champions for a second straight year from Curl, Aberdeen, on the northeast coast of Scotland, on the North Sea, the oil capital of Great Britain.
Wow. Good deal. You want to measure it?
We're going to have to measure that one to make sure it's
whatever that is.
out or in. If it's in, of course, it can be hit. It's a tricky little one because the rock in the house is in the way. You have to get that out of the way.
2 seconds. If Andy's rings are good, that's out. But
they got to move this one too.
No, they've gotten over the top.
Oh, the top.
Okay, they've got a different kind of measure here that will
you never know.
Go over that one as a biter stick.
I think it's out.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit there.
Listen, the way my picks are going in the golf, anything could be a foot in.
Who'd you take, Mike Weir?
No, I took
oh dear, they're talking about the Masters and poor Mike Weir, who had a wonderful opening day, but then blew up on day 2. I think he went 7 over and missed the cut at Augusta. So how crucial is this, Linda, if this is in?
Well, it makes a big difference for Glenn's strategy.
It's close. It's close. Is it?
Oh. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Outside and cannot be hit.
That cheer is from the Scottish supporters.
Nose? Go around the corner.
Nose it?
Nose or go around the corner? Let's just go around the corner.
You could, of course, hit the guard as long as it doesn't go out of play. Just the one in the house goes out of play. So that was the thought of nosing it. But it's just a 12-foot rock, so first they'll use the corner.
Yeah, plus it's an easy double later, so this makes the most sense. Because if you do play the run back and you don't make it, they have to go back, right? Because that is in the free guard zones.
A lot of room right now. How heavy?
T-line anyway.
Line's good.
No.
Okay, I'll try and put it. You want to put it right there then?
No. I can't sweep it.
No.
Now I could.
Okay. No, it's good. Line's good. Line's good. That's fine.
Good shot.
Not quite shot stone. That's still top edge of the 8th. The Canadians had a wonderful week. They went 10-1. There were a couple of games where they may have been off, but they still won. And their only loss came to New Zealand on the final day. And then with that 10-1 record in the 1-2-page playoff, they were a 7-6 extra and winner over Scotland.
Yep. Line. T. Hard. Come on, Mike. Come on, Mike. It's got to bite the white. Hard. Come on, 8-foot. Hard. Line's really good.
Drummond and Goodfellow on the throw by Scott Andrews. And here comes Brewster, too, wanting to bite the white. Trying to get it there, prevent the over curl, and it will over curl just that much. Scotland went through with a record of 8-3, managed their losses very well. They lost to Canada on the Wednesday 7-5. That still put them into the 1-2 page playoff, which they lost to Canada yesterday, and then they went on to play Sweden in the semifinal. And the Scots looked like a much different team. And as I said, Greg Drummond had a wonderful game, 7-6 the final, to put themselves back into this championship final.
That was the one thing I talked about in the first end, that every once in a while the little mistake that comes out of Tom Brewster is cutting down the ice, and that happened on that over curl.
That's good. That's real good. Good boy. That's a good shot.
Leaves the shooter just off center line, something that could maybe be bumped up later.
Just under half. Yeah? See that, or he freeze?
Yeah, that's what they're doing next. Okay.
Hack. Okay. Can you see enough? Go just under half.
Definitely a fresh spot here. 0 practice rocks out this wide. The widest I saw was about 2 inches outside the edge of the 8 foot. Could be a shade slower here.
Waist back.
Scott Andrews.
Gotta go, guys. Really hard.
Boy, now this guard may come into play here, trying to hold the line. Got to get it by the Canadian Stone. Coming up right now. Get it by there first. Oh, they did. They did. Now the short little run back. And Scotland is sitting 3 without last rock here in the third.
Boy, did I hear a whoa at the hog line? Yikes, that was close.
A lot of nice things still for G.Howard here. He has that very tight guard to use. First, they will go around the corner, see if they can get an angle on that red stone that was just played.
Brent Lang.
Good. T-line.
Oh, off then. It's heavy.
Least T. Least T. Whoa.
Yeah. Right off then. Well, it's coming. Gotta curl it.
Line
Down, gotta curl it.
Line only.
It will finish here, though, once that crosses the line.
We go around the first one? Let's just wait for it.
That's pretty good.
Okay. Shot.
That's across the sheet.
Not as much. Hack, I think. Right, you need less than half if you hack. Okay.
You can see Canada's plan. They're trying to force as many finesse shots out of Team Scotland as possible. You can only see a small half of that, so Greg has to bring the weight down a little bit.
Back up. Yep, high. Yep, whoa. Yep.
Remember, this spot ran a little bit straight in the first end.
Boy, it may have taken off here. They're trying to hold this now. The guard again coming into play. Guard again. And this time they will not get through. They'll clunk a couple of guards on the way through and out the back. And it was a dance at the back as well, as the two skippers were trying to follow their stones through.
Ours is heading towards the middle. You like that? No.
Just go, what about just draw around it?
Or just go there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you think it's the same here as what you guys are throwing?
I threw one here in practice. I think
it's real close, Wayne. Yeah.
Okay. T-line.
Line's good.
Weight only.
Room.
Lots of room. Tons of line. Tons of line.
Room.
Tons of line. You gotta get to the T though.
Oh.
There it goes.
Higher the better.
It's going. T-line.
Yeah, still there. Still there.
Okay, hold it. It's half buried.
No. Sorry, Wayner. Good shot, Wayner.
And they'll take it to the tee line. Now, is that a slight point of criticism with this front end and a lot of front ends, that they tend to want to take the stone right away with the brush rather than seeing it first and then making that judgment?
Well, I think it was that time, Vic, but they actually apologized. They just don't make those mistakes. But it's only about 18 inches deeper than they want to be. It's still okay. But yeah, you're right. A lot of the front ends, just especially in the big games, you want to make that so badly. You think it's light, you jump on it. It's all about controlling those emotions.
Yep. Whoa.
It's actually not a bad thing, though, where it's positioned based on them playing this. All depends on this one.
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Right over on top. But it did punch the Canadian stone in behind those staggered stones, top 12, leaving the Scottish stone out in the open in the forefoot.
This is really interesting. The lineup on the yellow-red out in front actually favors Scotland.
I think maybe.
So yeah, your tendency is to want to play this little hidden flip, and as I said, that first yellow going a little deep gives you the room to play it. Then you're worried a little bit about that front two.
Yeah, it's good. Hard. Gotta go. Hard.
Well, this time there is no question. They do have to go. Saville and Lang. It is a big brush. Here comes those stones, top 12. Here they come. Gotta get it by, fellas. Gotta get it by. Get the flip now. Sit there. Push it back. And now, shot stone remains. Scotland back 4, but second and third are covered, but as Linda says, lined up behind that yellow-red combination.
Sorry, man. It's too late. Oh, use it if you want. The problem is it brings us into play.
They're lined up that way, so if he hits it naturally, it could double off here.
Tell you what, though.
But this yellow will probably stay over here somewhere, depending on how thin he hits it.
Here high, I'd bring the yellow. Shouldn't that one should stay might push that yellow in behind that red, eh? Here on this side, you mean? Well, I think you got it here on the. See the angle?
Yeah, well, yeah.
If you hit this on the nose,
yeah, you've got a chance of putting the yellow to here. But if you hit it here high, you've got a chance of sticking the 4 in here.
You want to do that?
Behind the yellow.
Enter. Which one are you going for?
It all depends on the drag here. It looks like it's almost natural, and if you hit it dead on, the red goes back, hits about half the yellow, and you might make that back yellow. I think if they hit it high side, it'll drag the red enough that the yellow that Wayne threw on the tee line will go back and jam. So they might even have to cross this a little bit, but I would think with the ice they're taking, for Canada's sake, the top yellow, the one that's frozen, will stay in the rings. Can the back double be made?
Oh, that's the key. This is the kind of player that makes these on a regular basis, knows the line, but this is a tough one as far as getting them both.
Skip stones here in 3. Tom Brewster. Good fellow. Andrews, nothing. Backing right off. Come up, run it back, catch it. And now needs to spill it at the back if they can. And they'll move it to the back edge of the 12. Would he have liked to have gotten it all the way out?
Oh boy, for sure. I thought Tom threw that a little harder. He's got that shot in his bag for sure.
Now, it did roll far enough that it is 1-2 Scotland in the house. It is interesting to watch Tom with that in-turn because he does play with it a little bit, and I think he was a bit worried at first that he'd put it out and would not come back. I wonder if that even, as he's sliding, is in his mind.
Out turn?
Out turn.
Glenn could be aggressive here and freeze. Could freeze to the shot rock.
Yeah, rolling in. Up normal.
You make it good, Scotland jams everything out there, rolls out, you'd have a hit for a potential 3. He's going to try to do it the old-fashioned way, hit and roll across, set up a possible double, then for 3.
G.Howard and his first.
Close to normal. Just normal.
Boy. Did it jump on them a little bit? Yeah, it may have. They'll catch the corner and all the way out. So it took off on this front end of Craig Saville and Brent Lang.
Was it just normal? Yeah.
Oh, wow, that bust. Yeah, I did it ever. You're out there. You're well
real good. I thought so too.
Yeah, you're well out there.
No, I don't want to stick it here. Quarter rope. Okay. Putting this out there. Yep. Barrier. Okay. You like that?
Yeah, well, the only other shots go here.
Just remind you a little bit of the big end that Canada got in the 1-2 game. These are the tactical choices. You have to be very clear what you're trying to accomplish.
Still hunting for one, is he not?
It'd be tempting to go in this way.
Yeah, that was there.
Anywhere in that area, because there would not be a double unless it was a raised double. You put it somewhere in that area, there's no double because of the 3/4 of the rock is buried. I'm a little surprised. You could draw somewhere else too, but I think hitting the back one would be so easy to roll out, and then you give up a pretty good chance for sure.
Let's not take too much.
So he's gone away from hitting the back to drawing to the back one. But you could draw that anywhere level as well in the house to sit your 2.
And if he should come up anywhere except at that back, might leave himself a double possibility for Canada.
Right back there.
There's a lot of weight here, Vic.
Scots, stay with it.
Look at this, nothing yet from either Goodfellow or Andrews, and wanting to stay with it, and staying with it now is Maddaw, and all the way back, touch it, oh, and it'll roll off. And there's that decision. And the decision now for the Canadians will be a hit for 3.
It's just every once in a while we see that choice made, and you have to scratch your head. There was lots of places to play a draw, and he had to be clear also when he's in the hack. Draw, not freeze, not tap, just think draw weight. What a huge mistake.
Yeah, going to the back one meant nothing. Just get it in the 8-foot anywhere. Wow, even if you left a tough double, is Glenn even going to try it? He misses it, he's down 2-0.
Final stone.
They're more than me, Glenn.
Great opportunity, and look at this now. This needs to come up for Canada. This one needs to come up to the nose for 3. And there it is. Canada will take advantage of a last rock flash heavy draw. 3-1.
To save fuel, it makes itself more aerodynamic by automatically closing its grill vents, leaving you breathless. The all-new Ford Focus with active grill shutters.
Daniel and Grace dream of retiring. Proper protection, an emergency savings plan, adequate retirement income, and taking the trip of a lifetime to Paris. But how can Daniel and Grace make their dreams come true? At World Financial Group, we help families like Daniel and Grace make their financial dreams a reality. Let us help your family too. World Financial Group, your dreams, our strategies.
Fleas can be a real irritation, but they don't have to be. Advantage works fast to kill fleas on contact. Ask your veterinarian for Advantage. Learn more at nofleas.ca.
Gillette wanted to see how far one ProGlide cartridge could go, so they sent me around the world to find out. One world, 5 weeks. The only thing that didn't change was my razor.
Up to 5 weeks of comfortable shaves with one ProGlide cartridge. Great things start with Gillette.
It might be hard to believe that the new Focus can virtually park itself. Till you actually see it park itself. The all-new Ford Focus with available Active Park Assist.
It's an amazing feat to make your 4th World Championship final. The list of those who have done so are a who's who of the curling world. Today, the name Glenn Howard is added to that list. But how he did it is perhaps the most amazing story of them all. He first got there a quarter century ago, 1987, when he won his first gold medal. 6 years later, in 1993, he struck gold for the second time. Now fast forward to 2007 when he made it 3 for 3 standing on the top of the podium in Edmonton. And now, here in the year 2012, Glenn Howard has a chance to win a 4th world title in 4 different decades. That's right, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and now the 20-teens. No one else in the world has ever done it more than 2 decades. And just how incredible is that? Well, consider this. When Glenn Howard won his first world title, he was a single man, aged 24. Today, as he tries to win his 4th, his son Scott is part of the team. It's a quarter century of excellence that shows no signs of slowing down. Glenn Howard is proving that you can be the very best in the world, even when you're 3 months shy of your 50th birthday. And there you see the championships as he goes for his 4th, and you think about Wayne Middaugh trying for a 3rd, and Brent Lang, Craig Saville, all both looking for their 2nd world championships. And they have the lead now as we welcome you back to St. Jakobshalle and our coverage of the World Men's Curling Championship presented by Ford of Canada. Questionable decision by Scotland and Tom Brewster with his last results in Canada jumping all over it for a 3 in the 3rd. They have the lead, and Scotland, for the first time in the game, now has the last rock playing the Redstones here in 4.
It was a bad choice, and then also it's one of those things when you have an emotional player, if you're working with someone on your team, if you're coaching them, you have to make sure when the choice is made and they go to throw the shot that they quiet the mind. It looks like Tom's still spinning a little bit about all the choices down the one end and never got to just thinking, I'm only throwing a draw. It's up to the brushers to then make sure it's in a position where there is no double.
Great point, Linda, because they didn't. Tom did not want to draw. He wanted to hit that enemy rock at the back, which would have been a tough shot to give up a deuce if he rolls anywhere. So he tried to kind of throw the heavy draw and tap it out anyways. And unfortunately, go the other way, throw the out turn, get it in the 8-foot somewhere. I think unless it was a gimme double, Glenn isn't even going to take it on, because if he ever hits and rolls out, it's 2-0 Scotland.
Hard.
But it's interesting, Linda, you sniffed it out. You said this is just the way it's going. You just sense it.
Yeah, I sensed it was the same decision-making process and thinking process as that game yesterday, the 1-2 game where Canada got 4 on a bad choice, and the bad choice led to an execution problem where I don't think in that case Tom was really set on what he was playing either. Interesting, in that game yesterday was also a timeout situation, and they talked for quite a while, and then it was just rush down and throw, reminding me a little bit of that one. So we'll see how Tom Brewster can recover from that mistake. It's early. It's only a 2-point deficit. There's lots of time to get back in this game. And you don't have to panic. Craig Saville got the rocks in the middle in a nice spot one more time, so they're trying to tap them around, get something in behind cover.
I was shouting for like, eh? I'm sorry, my throat's really... Okay.
It's lined up. It is lined up.
Nah, just peel it. Oh, it's a hard peel. There's like 2 inches on either side. Knows it. Just hit it. Just hit it. See where it goes. Sure.
Can you pick the top?
If you're gonna try and peel it, you gotta throw like normal and let it go. Sure. So what are we doing? You found the toughest shot.
I don't know, you called it.
It's not a big hole. That's why they're talking about the difficulty in actually peeling this out and getting the shooter to roll out. So just make it go away.
All on its own, trying to avoid their own, and right on the nose. Brent Lang.
Even if you bounce that to back eight, it's okay. Same weight.
Same weight's good. Go 3 to the last.
Tricky little shot here. You take a look at that corner guard and you think about how much curler is hog line in. Maybe the last from that corner guard in, it might curve 2.5 feet. There's virtually no opening here.
Yep, Sam. Hard. Gotta go, guys.
Hard line, feel good.
Stay on it.
Good fellow on the left. Drummond on the right.
hard. Go hard. Hard is good. Hard.
By 1, by 2, and just tap it back. And he even got a little bit of an inside flip.
Stop.
I'm quite impressed with the play, the quiet taps today from Scotland. Nicely done one more time. Scott's numbers are much better in this game so far.
Just pick it, eh?
Just peel it.
That's probably better. Let's peel it. Yeah.
Glenn wanted to play the red onto the yellow onto the red, but then that back red that was just thrown will probably jam on the 2 yellow at the back. The 2 Canadian rocks at the back really aren't helping Canada. So Wayne's just going to throw one of his howitzers down here with the out turn and pick this off the back of the butt.
Yep. Hard, hard. Hard, hard.
Clean, clean, clean. Good throw, waiter.
It's like it's on a rail.
Good call, because they know Tom Brewster has to deal with that yellow one on the forefoot at some point in time, and the best way to do that is tap the red, and that means you group the reds together, and there will be a double opportunity.
Okay. Move it forward than Scott. Yeah, it's my 95. Yeah. 3, 4, 3.
Trying to split them, Linda, keep some space.
I think so. There are options, split, straight tap, but this spot's really interesting. It does go quite straight. That's why they could get by it to get at the one a moment ago on the forefoot. And here it's running again on them.
Whoa, whoa. Yeah!
So they are going by everything to the stones at the back.
Wasn't by design, though, Vic. They were just trying to split those around and just much too much weight.
This hit and stay were pretty good. Yeah. LPC just has a. Oh, they'll be grouped.
What do you think's the easiest way to nose it?
Nose. Take this one. Looks like out turn's easiest, yeah. Okay.
And he'll keep the weight firm. He doesn't mind losing his own yellow at the back. They've been problematic anyways, but then they can sit 2 if he hits this dead on.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
So he gets rid of the backing and sits now in the back 8 foot. Canada is sitting 2 without last rock here in the 4th.
Hey, here inside. Here on this side. Yep. In.
I don't mind. In, probably. What are we throwing?
If you do get across the nose and hit it on that side, will you, in fact, could you make the double?
Yeah, I think just a hair off center, because the double's there, definitely, Vic, but the key is you can't be too far off center because you'll lose the one you're raising.
Yep.
Especially with this weight.
Yes! Whoa! Whoa! Yep!
Greg Drummond.
Whoa. Roll that one, Scott.
1, 2, and he's got him. Very nice. It's the kind of game we saw from Greg Drummond yesterday in the semi-final against Sweden.
Beautiful shot.
You think of how long it's taken to get to this position, all the Canadian stones in play, all the taps, maneuvering, one little break, Scotland going by the intended shot and getting to the back, but still working their way to this position where they've got 2 in the house.
You've got 2 thirds here that can thread a needle with a lot of speed. Raise double, sticks it with peel weight, and does not leave a double.
Skip stones here in this 4th.
Whoa. Close.
Weight's good.
Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Where are you going? Right over, right over, right over. Wow.
Taking it now, trying to get it behind their own corner, and it'll stop in the open, top of the 4 foot.
That's where we're going just before it hits. Oh, really? They talk about that?
I'm right in between them.
Couple licks.
So a little mistake on that line call, and this gives Tom Brewster a chance to hit and roll behind the corner guard. Not a lot of room, another tough one.
Probably will be a double available off that top red one.
That's what he's trying to do, is just trying to roll to a spot where it makes it a little harder.
Body it up. Yep. Hard. Whoa. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Andrews a good fellow. Get it by their own. That's job one. They did. And they'll leave it sitting right there. Top edge of the 4.
Definitely a double opportunity here. Just a hair off center. Tom wanted to roll a little farther left than there.
Final stone for Canada. G.Howard. All on their own. Angle it back. Oh, and he stuffed it.
Come on. Make a sweeping call.
Threw too hard, I think.
Oh.
Oh, that was good right out of my hand. I liked it.
And so it'll be an open draw for 2 for Scotland here and 4 to even it.
Now, Wayne's pretty mad at himself, and part of the reason is because you hate to let a team back in the game so quickly. Canada had a good end and looked like they were keeping it a difficult position for Tom to get his deuce, but now nicely played. And a chance for the draw for 2.
Yep. Clean.
Anywhere in the paint.
Clean. Yep. Just clean. Clean, guys. Stay down on it.
Good fellow, and Andrews will just dust it in. Canada will take the last rock to 5 as Scotland comes back with a couple here in the 4th to even it at 3.
To increase fuel efficiency, it injects tiny droplets of fuel directly into the combustion chamber, so you can enjoy every drop. The all-new Ford Focus.
Before we got the Capital One Aspire card, we never had enough miles to get away together.
Aloha.
Isn't it beautiful, honey? Let me show you around. Wait till you see the clubhouse.
I can see you, Carl.
But now, thanks to Aspire, I get double miles on all my purchases, so we can actually get away together.
The Aspire card. Get 2 reward miles on every dollar spent, plus a $35,000 first purchase bonus.
What's in your wallet?
I can see you, Carl.
She's known as the Brain. First, she had the mental fortitude to triumph over her disability. Then she invented a piece of equipment that transformed the way she delivered a stone. It changed her game and allowed her to triumph in the sport of curling. Sonia Godet, Paralympic wheelchair curling, one of the super athletes.
Sponge towels are ready for anything, thanks to the super absorbent sponge pockets. Sponge towels. Nothing absorbs like it.
Daniel and Grace dream of retiring. Proper protection, an emergency savings plan, adequate retirement income, and taking the trip of a lifetime to Paris. But how can Daniel and Grace make their dreams come true? At World Financial Group, we help families like Daniel and Grace make their financial dreams a reality. Let us help your family too. World Financial Group. Your dreams, our strategies.
It has an available dual-clutch 6-speed automatic transmission that changes gears so efficiently, you can get up to 977 highway kilometers on a single tank, changing the way you think about changing gears. The all-new Ford Focus.
Earlier today, they played the bronze medal game here at St. Jakobshalle. Norway and Thomas Olsrud against Sweden. This one goes to an extra, despite the fact at one point it was 7-3 for Sweden. Last rock open draw needing full 4. And there is Sebastian Kraut filling in for the injured Nicholas Edin for a 9-8 win. And so for the second straight year, it is Sweden who wins the bronze medal with a win over Norway. And there is Sebastian Kraut and the team from Karlstad, the bronze medal winners. And Nicholas Edin, their skip, if you're just joining us, had back surgery here in Basel on Thursday, and he may be well enough to go home with the team tomorrow. As we welcome you back to the St. Jakobshalle and our final day coverage of the 2012 World Men's Curling Championship presented by Ford of Canada. So Canada gets 3 in the third, and just like that hockey team that scores a goal and gives up a quick one right back, that's what Canada did, giving up the deuce to tie it 3-3 as we go to 5. And here in the 5th, the Canadians do have the last rock again. They have the hammer playing the Yellow Stones.
Not light. Yep. Yes.
One little advantage so far is I think maybe there is something about that first red stone played by Scotland, Michael Goodfellow. It overcurls every time and ends up just top 8, not the position they want. And that means putting the guard on it, on their Scottish second stone, is tough. And it means that Craig then had room to get at that rock.
Sharp move then once you guys swept it. That's straight right enough.
And Michael's second one never does curl as much, does it? So that is obviously a bit of a cutter, that first stone.
Yep.
Hard! Scott Andrews.
Really hard! Gotta go, guys! Hard! Hard!
No. Now they will spill the stone in and cover it behind the corner,
maybe
the Canadian corner, covering the 8-foot.
Wait, it was fine. Off the pain.
It'll go in there.
Where?
It'll definitely in behind his red.
Think around here.
Okay.
This is the line Tom threw on, eh?
It's good here.
Yeah, it's good here. That's good ice, too.
You got to be T-line, though, eh?
At least T?
Yeah, well, else
yeah.
double, or else he just has easy double.
As soon as the broom ran down, Brent Lang said this is the line that Tom Brewster threw on, referring to the nice freeze in the first end. It's good memory work. They know this spot.
Gotta go a bit.
We also talked about positioning to make sure there isn't a double left, and you know that Canada is very aware of the ability of Scotland to make these doubles and hits.
Saville and Madaw.
Yeah, going sideways.
Get it in. Get it in. Get it in. Come on, Sav.
Trying just to bite the blue. Trying to get it there just a little bit more. Oh, and they just do.
I like a heel on the high side, but
That's great brushing. That's important. That thing's in the rings. You can see there's an easy yellow raise. They can take the red one out at any period of time. That yellow rock they scrubbed to get in, even though they knew it was a missed shot, they stayed with it.
I think that's one thing when you look back on your season, that if you make all the plan Bs that you can, that is make a shot that's not perfect, its best, you're going to win a lot of games.
Yes! Hard! Clean! Off! 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 Right off. Nothing.
And leave it, and it'll roll out.
Sorry.
There's the example right here. Langer can run this back, save the thrown rock, and it'll be buried.
Little high side, you mean?
Then we're buried, though. Get it on
Right on the nose.
Okay.
It's in the rings.
Might set up a double. Okay. Just normal.
Keep the corner guard down.
Two choices here. You hit it dead on, you have one yellow in the rings, and you have it guarded. You could hit it a little on Glenn's side, the broom side, hit it and roll into the rings and set 2, but then there would not be a guard. So I think they're going to go straight back here.
Yep. Normal. Well, yep. Yep. Just normal. Hard. 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 Be hard. 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 Hard.
Go on that one.
Yep.
That's good.
So by that much, Canada is sitting 1, but it is covered. Totally covered.
And now that rollout by Scotland is such a big mistake. That was a brushing error again, and they just had to nose hit that rock, roll out, and now they have to play the run back.
If you hit this on the broom side, it can carry them, the long rock can carry them into that left-hand rock and stay for Canada also.
Greg Drummond playing third stones here in the fifth of a 3-3 tie, the gold medal game of the men's worlds.
Attaboy.
And avoids the jam. Kicks one of the Canadian stones out of play, but that shooter does remain out in front, so it's covering almost the edge of the 4 foot.
Talk about one of the things that happened to Tom over the last year. He is very complimentary of his team, even though he gets emotional and upset with mistakes. More often it's himself now that he gets upset with and has to learn to park those problems, but he's very good with the team after they make a nice shot.
Real good. Okay. Wait there. Wait there. Whoa, 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 wait there. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And just stops. May have overcurled just a little bit to peek out, but it is in front of the tee line.
Oh, please. 15. Give us a chance. Yeah, I think so.
Canada has been giving Scotland a steady diet of these. This is how they feel they can get a mistake. We watched how accurate Greg Drummond was on that run back. They don't miss too many of those with the big weight.
You know all about those. You have world championships and Olympic medals. They will be presented to the winner of this year's championship here in Basel.
Yeah, line. Whoa. Yeah. Gotta go line. Whoa. Yes. All the way, guys. Must go hard. Clean.
Boy, they got off it to watch it break.
Okay.
Maybe flirted with the guard, but they still made their shot. Scotland is sitting one. Canada has the last rock here in 5.
Pummeled it a bit earlier just to get a wee bit more of an angle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you hate to criticize that. It was actually too good. It's buried, but now there's not quite enough angle on that back
I'm
yellow.
going to set up a double if I make it.
Well, that's why you need some weight.
Yeah, you got to go deep.
Okay, I'll try.
Can you make it with hack? Okay, so you got to be a little more than that.
Back line.
At least.
Okay. Oh, you got to give me some ice, Glenn. Almost the same ice. Don't you think?
No. Not the same ice.
Okay, okay. Back line.
How difficult is it for Wayne at this moment to believe that ice? But he wants more, and you have to believe this.
Yeah, it's tough, and he's used to skipping, don't forget, too, so he usually gets his own way, so it does make it a little tougher to adjust.
Boy, here they go. Savalang got to get it by the guard first. Oh. And now watch where the shooter will go.
Deep, better.
And it'll spin to the back of the 8 foot. Now, comes back to that, just exactly that. He wanted more. It's already planted in his mind.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Do you think he missed it because of that?
No, I really don't. They were talking about the weight. That was a difficult shot. Don't forget the rock was buried. They're trying to chip it and roll and save the shooter. It was a nice plan B, because if this one happens to roll, well, then Glenn still has an end building up. So it was a good miss, if you can call it that, and a tough shot to begin with.
That's exactly what you have to call as a good miss. There's a great miss. There's been 2 great misses this end. Lang came up light and they brushed it in and it froze it. They used it once to set up a raise, and now they still have a chance for 2, even though they've made 2 mistakes.
Gotta go hard.
Skip stones. Tom Brewster.
Hard, Mike.
Boy, this is a big scrub for them now, too, just to hold it. They need to keep this around. And they will sit.
Sweat, guys.
It'll be second shot, center line, back edge of the 8.
Out my hand. Okay.
Thing? Yeah. Okay. Center line and just give me
more weight.
Okay. Center line.
Yeah.
I thought I threw mine right down the center line.
You did.
And I would have hit 3/4 of that.
I know. So a little more weight should be good.
Hack?
Yeah.
Hack. I was, yeah.
Almost hack.
Okay. He was light out of his hand, too.
Hey, I thought he was, yeah.
We swept it all the way, and he was just packing it.
Yeah.
Okay. Hack?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Cliffy.
Shot stone top 8. Canada, second shot, tee line, edge of the 8.
How much more wings? Little light! Go, lad! Hard! Hard!
Boy, again, maybe this is just the curly spot here. This is where Madon got caught as well.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Off, off,
Try to over-curl it now.
Red one, go!
Oh, my goodness, and they avoid the jam. It got enough to the nose. And now you look. 1, 2, Canada around the edge of the 8.
Absolute pistol.
You wouldn't think that this was possible to get this by without touching that red.
No,
or touching the yellow on the way by.
I think they wanted to go the other way, Linda.
I think so too, but see, it changes turn when you hit it near the nose, in turn to out turn. That's why it actually curls by the back yellow rock. Wow, great call by Wayne.
What an example of turning lemons into lemonade. It's 2 mistakes that were missed the right way, pro misses that have stayed in the rings, and then Wayne changed Glenn's slight inside rock, or a little bit light, into a great shot also. And Tom has to be very close to this corner guard to make this double.
And at the moment, as you see the World Championship trophy that'll be presented, it is Canada sitting 2 lemons to 1 Scottish cherry. Suddenly I feel like I'm at the casino. Didn't think that was possible. He missed that on the way by. Tom Brewster now.
Push. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Right off. Right off.
All on its own now. Drag it back. Get it. Oh, very nice. Lovely shot, Tom Brewster. He took the brushers right out of it and made it on his own.
It was the perfect way to allow it to curl at the very end and just touch that back one out. Beautifully done.
Tom looks like he's trying today.
A little emotion there. Now you have to settle yourself. If you're Glenn, it's a draw against 2.
And you have to put it full in the 8-foot, full in the white.
Tee line.
Easy, easy.
Tee.
Don't sweep it.
Lots of line.
Keep it clean though.
Okay, you're good. You're good.
It's perfect.
So you can hear them talking all the way down. Saville and Lang love the weight. And look at that T-line, edge of the button. So Canada will pick up the single here in 5. We're midway through, and Canada has the lead.
The 2012 World Men's Curling Championship is brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
How are we going to get all these baguettes into the box? No. I can still see it there. Yeah.
Why don't you just make them smaller? You know, bite size.
Bite size.
Crispy Baguettes Bites, made from freshly baked oven-toasted baguettes in delicious flavors like bruschetta and garlic parmesan. Crispy Baguettes Bites. Available where you find Melba Toast.
Ma'am, turn off your phone. Tray table up. Sir, turn off your phone, please.
Sorry, I just got Bell TV. I'm actually recording a show from my smartphone, so when I get home, I can watch it in stunning HD.
That is amazing.
I know, it's pretty sweet, right?
Are you recording your favorite show?
No, I'm not with Bell.
Turn off the phone. Enjoy the flight, sir.
Flight attendants, doors to departure and cross-check.
Before I got the Capital One Aspire card, I was awful at anniversary gifts.
Happy anniversary! It
Yep, I had her stuffed. Happy anniversary!
Looking good, Tina.
But now, thanks to Aspire, I get 10,000 bonus reward miles every year. So anniversaries are awesome.
The Aspire card. Get 10,000 reward miles every anniversary, plus 2 miles on every dollar spent.
What's in your wallet?
Managing diabetes can be simplified with the innovative Bayer Contour USB. Easy-to-use features give you access to detailed information so you can track your trends. The Contour USB is part of the Contour family of meters, including the #1 pharmacist recommended Contour meter.
It could be 7 in the morning.
Or 10 at night.
In Chilliwack, BC.
Or St. Peter's, Nova Scotia.
It could be Michelle.
Or Mark.
Or Jen.
But whenever.
Wherever you order that cup of Tim Hortons Premium Blend Coffee.
You know that it's always fresh.
From Newfoundland and Labrador to Vancouver Island, it's always fresh. It's time for Tim's.
It's the M&M Meat Shop's Final End Challenge. Watch today's Season of Champions game to the end of this broadcast for a chance to win a $50 M&M gift card or a trip for 2 to Sochi, Russia for the 2013 World Junior Curling Championships. Don't miss the M&M Final End Challenge.
This gold medal game here in Basel brings us to the end of another season of champions. To everyone we've met along the way, especially the volunteers, thank you, because events like this don't happen without you. To the women and men of our production team, your dedication and your pride is on display every time someone turns on their TV. Which brings me to you, the viewers, who continue to tune in record numbers. From all of us, a heartfelt thank you as we look forward to joining you again next year and bringing you more of Canada's most comprehensive curling coverage. Scotland finds themselves down by a point. Canada leads at 4-3 as we check the numbers after 5, Linda.
We've had an interesting blend of great shots and a few mistakes. That tactical choice by Scotland, they gave the 3 to Canada, and a couple of line calls in the 4th end that cost Canada a chance to limit Scotland. But right now, both teams playing very well. Nothing to choose in the bottom line.
The numbers after 5 are brought to you by Tim Hortons. It's time for Tim's. The Canadians get 1 in 5 to take the lead on this Easter Sunday. We hope you're enjoying your day with us here in Basel and the Men's Worlds.
Join the masters of style. Even trimming, close shave, and accurate edging with the new Gillette Fusion Pro Glide Styler. New Fusion Pro Glide Styler and Clear Shave Gel from Gillette.
Men's Curling Championship is brought to you by Tim Hortons Real Fruit Smoothies in New Peach Mango. By M&M Meat Shops, hundreds of meal ideas, one aisle. And by World Financial Group, proud to be a sponsor of the Season of Champions. Your dreams, our strategies.
Welcome back to St. Jakobshalle here in Basel. The 6th end is just underway. First stone from Canada goes to the tee line edge of the button, and in comes Scotland with their second. And I'm thinking that that was supposed to be a guard, Russ. Scotland does have the last rock here in 6 playing the red stones.
we had a nickel for him. So many times that's happened, Vic. It's just the big break in the fifth end. The ice makers go out and chamois the ice with the big 6-foot broom, and they run it up and down and up and down and up and down. The reason for that is to simulate play, and it helps take the frost off, and it's just that little bit faster. And you see that so many times where that lead rock glides that little bit too far.
Now, the frost word was used a lot. Late in round robin, it got wet. The first few days here, 3 or 4 days in Basel, were wonderful, spring-like. But then it started to rain about Thursday. And through Friday, yesterday, frost. Have you noticed anything, Linda, here, that if the frost is creeping in here?
No, I think we're okay so far. They have those dehumidifiers around. We probably wouldn't see it until maybe the 8th end at this stage. But the building was, one problem for the ice makers was used earlier today for that bronze medal game. Not a lot of time between games to cool it down, so that might be one little problem today.
Now the rain has gone away. It's cloudy, and it's a lot cooler than it was when we first arrived.
It's just amazing we have curling ice in here at all, and Hans Vutrick and his team, there should be a gold medal for those guys, I'll tell you. It's just incredible. They bring in a portable plant. There wasn't even an ice-making plant here. They put plywood down, styrofoam down, then the pipes, the coolant pipes go on top of that. They don't fill it in with sand like you see at a lot of curling clubs, so they had to put at least twice as much ice on to level it out to make sure there weren't any runs. And, they do that so fast, working day and night. It's just incredible.
And that's why there is maybe, you hear a bit of a hollow sound when the stones are traveling up and down the ice. This, Jakobshalle, is where they play the Swiss indoors every December. And it has been won 5 times by Roger Federer. So up and down the sheet we go. 4-3 Canada. Here in 6, it is the Scots that do have the last rock playing the red stones. And Brent Lang just making sure that the running surface is clean.
We talk about all the positions and their importance, but it is really interesting to have seen that guard for Scotland slide in, because at the moment, Craig Saville, after 5, was at 98% and had quite a big edge on that lead position. The rest of the positions are pretty close, actually, with Scotland having the edge at 3rd and Skip at the moment. So Craig is making a big difference in this game, and the fact that Michael Goodfellow is making a few mistakes, he's going to want to clean that up as they go through this game. At this point, Tom's hoping for a double chance, and he's got it right now.
Yep. Hard! Clean! Yep. Wow! Okay. Okay. Dead nose is in. Oof. Dead.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa.
Wayne did have a little advantage in the first part of the game, but last end, remember, he did wreck on a guard trying to get by. That brought him down a little bit.
To Wayne's credit, he thought he needed a hair more ice in that spot, and you have to marry the weight and the ice at the same time. The boys thought he was maybe a hair light also, which would contribute to the overcurl.
Body or normal? Yeah, firm body.
Interesting call. What you might see Canada do in this situation is freeze and create a mistake and then hit the other rock and get your blank. At this point in time, Canada's quite happy to trade stones and force Tom Brewster to take a single.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yes! Whoa. Hard! Off! 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 No, no. Screw teeth.
And out the back.
They're not easy, but those are big mistakes on those brushing calls, the line calls, because now Glenn can really spread these stones out. Scotland had the one chance for the double and didn't make it, and there was a rollout.
Well, there is Mr. René Fassel. He's the president of the International Ice Hockey Federation, and he's here and joining us. And Kate Caithness, who is the president of the World Curling Federation. The Canadian women right now are involved with the Women's World Championship. You're seeing that on TSN. They're playing in Vermont, and coming up in a few weeks, the Men's World Hockey Championships will be played in Stockholm.
Tom's going to freeze it this time. They could have done it last time. I think now that it's in a weaker position for Canada, they'll give it a go.
Yep, back in. Hold the line. Line's good. Just wait now. We're good. Whoa. Back in. Yep. Silly back in. Back in. Stay line. Whoa. Close for line. Yep. Whoa. Small bump. Off now. Small bump. Right off. Small bump's okay. Yep. Hard, Wayne. Feel it? Yep. Hit it. Hit the right here.
Glenn wants to hang around, so you have to make the decision. Do you hit half a rock and save the back yellow, or do you hit it dead on and deflect the red off the back yellow and stay?
They talked about peeling it out, so I'm thinking they're trying to save the one already in the rings. Hard to tell because it's going to be big weight and they're not taking much ice in either case.
So it's been a pretty quick 6 so far, as we're already at skip stones. And Pickett around it. Canada doing a nice job here, Russ, to possibly force.
Well, they are, and only need to make one more. Tom's going to have to glue this on better than Greg did. We talk about that all the time, how tough this is. If this is angled at all, Glenn can just hit it dead on.
Yeah, just wait, Flood. Gotta be back to it, boys. Okay. 3-1. Yep. Here, less, Greg. Back in. Good.
Well, that overall percentage, Tom's draws are a little lower, but don't forget he threw that draw through the end that Canada got their 3.
Right to it, Mikes. Mikes. To it. You're to it. Yep. Yep. Hold the line. Whoa. Whoa. Hard way. Okay.
We've talked about that the last couple of months, Vic. That's just a wonderful curling shot. But because it curled that extra 2 inches, speed was perfect.
Peel nose.
Glenn can nose that now.
Tom did adjust the brim, took a little less ice from the hack. Those sometimes worry me because you saw the rock that was a little heavier come down, and suddenly you're adjusting, not trusting the ice you gave yourself in the house if you're Tom.
Final stone for Canada here at 6. Would love to bust this out the back, hold the shooter too, and they will. So Brewster in Scotland will face a couple with his last.
Great throw. Do that.
And don't forget, this all happened because the first stone of the end for Scotland, the attended corner guard slipped into the rings and let Canada sit 2 through the whole end.
He's got through a lot last week. Okay. Yep, go hard.
Shot stone is at the back, full back 8 foot, so he'll need a little bite of the red, just a piece of the 4 foot.
Stay down on it. One of you take a look. Yep. Hard. Hard, can't hurt it. Come on, go. Gotta go, guys.
He's a little piece of the 4 foot.
Good. Go, Mike. Don't stop, don't stop. Don't lose it in the cross.
And just take it all the way down. Nicely judged by the front end of Michael Goodfellow, Scott Andrews. Scotland forced to take the single, and we're even again.
When you give it one of over 10,000 voice commands, like asking it to change the cabin temperature, an amazing thing happens. It listens. The all-new Ford Focus with available class-exclusive sync with My Ford Touch.
With the professional independent advice of a licensed insurance broker working for you, you can sleep easy. Insurance brokers don't work for an insurance company. They find you the best insurance, getting you the right coverage at the right price, and are there to help in the event of a claim, so you can sleep easy. Your best insurance is an insurance broker.
What is pure comfort? It's a soft blanket after a hard day. Pure comfort is the touch of a childhood friend. Pure comfort is a moment to yourself. Pure comfort is what you trust. Purex is pure comfort.
Canada's largest coast-to-coast mover, AMJ Campbell, has been moving households and offices locally and internationally since 1934. As the most trusted movers in Canada, AMJ Campbell is your source for your home, office, or do-it-yourself move. At AMJ Campbell, we treat your possessions like they're our own. AMJ Campbell is the only moving company that you can pay on your Sears card to earn Sears Club points. Thinking of moving? Call AMJ Campbell.
Canadians are crazy about curling, and so are their kids. Thanks to the Capital One Rocks and Rings program, thousands of kids across Canada have learned about curling in their elementary schools. From coast to coast, Rocks and Rings has kids screaming, "Hurry hard!" and having a great time doing it. Our instructors get kids active and excited to learn about a new sport. The kids love it, the teachers love it, and the best part is, the whole program comes to you. To get Rocks and Rings in your school, visit rocksandrings.com.
It might be hard to believe that the new Focus can virtually park itself. Till you actually see it park itself. The all-new Ford Focus with available Active Park Assist.
Well, Ontario has done very well at the Worlds. Thank you very much. When you think back to Wayne Madaw and Russ Howard, Eddie Wernick, that gold medal in 1990 in Västerås, Sweden. And of course, yours, Russ, was in '87. We think about that one in Vancouver. Al Hackner with a couple of world championships, the Iceman from Thunder Bay. So the Worlds and Ontario have sort of gone hand in hand as we welcome you back to our coverage of the Worlds here in Basel, presented by Ford of Canada. And after that single in 6, we're tied at 4. And once again, it is Canada that has the last rock. They have the hammer playing the Yellowstones.
Yep.
It's a great force by Canada, Linda. As you said, that one rock for Scotland slips in the rings. Canada made everything in the force. And now it's a 4-end game. Canada with the brick.
Hard play. Hard play.
And this game has had a little bit of everything. And in this case, we saw the guard go out in front for Scotland and Canada play to the open side. Clearly, Glenn has a plan here, playing 7, what he wants to accomplish. Now he wants to move into 8, perhaps, holding the hammer. Now, Scotland's not going to play along. They're trying to get a roll in behind and almost did in this case.
They're not going to play along?
It's really a fortunate thing when opponents won't play along with your strategy.
It's rude.
Hey, come on now.
Yeah, Team Canada hoping to blank one mistake out of Scotland, run that, get a rollout here, for instance, by Scotland. Then Glenn will go out and peel that center guard, try to blank the end, and then they would have 2 hammers in effect to 1 with only 3 ends left.
Yep.
So if you're Scotland, you have to make some choices as well. And Tom is clearly, even last end, showing us that he's not willing to mix it up at this stage of the game. It would be risky to leave a rock in the back, but knowing Glenn's plan, sometimes you make a few changes in your plan, but no, this is a hit.
Off. Right off. Yep.
With Scott Andrews throwing the second stones for the champions from Aberdeen.
Whoa, Mike. Whoa. Good. Nice throw, Scott.
You know, you watch that stone come down, Russ, and it seems to hang there for the long, and then late it just finishes.
Nice soft weight. It's so crucial to have the right speed, because you underthrow those, they're gone, like the one Wayne threw with the other turn in the spot, or you overthrow it, it's just not going to move. It's not all about hitting the broom anymore with these aggressive rocks. You have to nail the speed.
No, never.
It's heavy, eh?
Yeah, a little.
There's the example right there. Probably hit the broom, but as Glenn identified, it's heavy.
Okay.
And he won't be able to hold it at the back. Fred Lang.
And 15? Yeah, probably 10, 15. Yeah. Yep.
This is a very big draw for Scotland if they can bury it, keep it in front of the tee line.
Yep, line.
Push Canada to make some tougher shots.
Where are we? Stop it. Gotta go line. Still good, guys. Hard. Gotta go. Come on, Mike. Clean. Yep. Clean. Whoa. Stop it. Whoa.
Can they wrap it around their own?
Greg, go.
Looks real
go,
good.
Greg, go. Go, 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 go. Come on, Carl. Hard. Hard.
Boy, look at that finish.
Great shot.
To the top of the button, totally covered. Well, Scott Andrews, much better game for him today, Linda.
I think in particular with that weight control, that was a little bit of a problem, but doing a nice job, and that also means composing yourself, taking a deep breath before you throw those.
Even if we peel it and they miss a half guard, we hit and roll away. This way, no, it's not going to blank. Well,
you guys like it?
Though I can make the top. It's also on the button.
You like Wayner?
What do we want? What's more important, the two or the blank? I don't mind. This is kind of go for the two, right?
Is he gonna
button? Is he going to guard?
Okay.
Okay, I'm good either way.
Well, I'll just make this and see what he'll have to go around.
Make this and roll for a corner is pretty good.
Let's get it onto this somehow. You like this?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I mean, you preached about a plan, and this, it just seems to me like they're making this decision as if it's a very nonchalant kind of feeling at this moment.
Well, you have a plan to start, and it was very clear that Glenn had a good plan, and that was to try and blank. As I mentioned, when the opposition doesn't play along and they make a couple of shots that get you into a bit of trouble, you have to make some adjustments. So that was the moment. Do you continue towards the blank, needing a mistake still from Scotland, or do you go for the two instead? And they decided to try and open it up and hope for a mistake from Scotland.
Yeah, they reevaluated once it didn't go quite the way they wanted to, with Langer rolling out on the first one. They were waiting for a Scottish mistake, but the first mistake came from Canada, and so Wayne decided, hey, you know, let's go for the deuce. Looked like Langer's run back looked perfect at the hog line, and I think they're talking about it picked. It just moved right across and even rolled out, and they don't have the access to a corner guard now either.
Scott. Hard. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Scott across center. Whoa. Going straight. Yeah. Whoa. Atta boy.
I would just find that very difficult. They think they're finished because the line looks perfect, and then there's that yell.
Here's a guy that likes to play a run back.
Whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Run it back, catch the corner, and there they go, Wayne Madaw. And the corner, the shot. Canadian stone. The shooter will roll over and cover just the edge of the 8.
It's great to see Wayne and how well he's playing, and it's interesting how these big weight shots are playing into Canada's favor. And think back to when he was the second for you, Russ, and then even when he skipped at the world level, he used that weapon so frequently. It's been terrific.
It's a long time ago, but it felt like cheating when you had Pete Corner, Wayne Madaw, and Glenn Howard in front of you. It made your job a lot easier, and you can see it in Wayne's eyes. He wants this so bad.
Come on.
Trying to suck this around. Greg Drummond's stone.
Whoa. Yep. Go, two on top. Whoa. Whoa.
Was that, mate? Nice, nice throw. I couldn't get it away. I couldn't get it away. Yeah. Okay.
So again, you're changing on the fly, Linda, here, are you? Because of this situation now, Canada is going to go for their deuce here, are they?
They are. Now, there still could be things happen that would end up with a blank, but the reason Scotland buried deep was to get it buried, and that means they're trying to get Canada into some draws and hopefully force Canada to their single.
It'll finish, don't worry. It's T-line. It's T-line right now.
Behind the T-line gives the advantage to Wayne Madaw.
Back there. Okay, well, don't really want to go. Hold it.
And just back T-line they go.
Yeah, we got to lean on across. I was just trying to throw a tee, and if they sweep it back there, they sweep it back there.
Jump the line, he straightens it up, though.
Yeah.
Well, we've heard that more than once about the front end today.
These new synthetic brooms are so good. They're so
just while being thrown.
abrasive to the surface. You can track them back once in a while. Nice angle by Wayne. It's you can only see half, but that half would redirect it onto the red.
310. Yeah, 10. I got 6 feet. Line. Yep. Hold the wheel line. Oh, line's good. Okay. Yep. Go. Yep. Got touch. Go then. Where? Can you hurt the line? T. Line's good. Yeah, line.
Got to keep on the high side here.
You gotta go. Go.
Get it by the card. They do. Now trying to prevent the over curl. Oh, and they did. Very nice. Shot stone, Scotland.
And once again, he's got that over curl. He's just cutting his ice down that much and doesn't have the good angle, red on yellow.
Much easier.
Yeah, advantage Team Canada here for sure. Glenn locks it on the inside corner.
Okay, right on top.
Okay. T-line, right on the T. Right? Okay. That's there. Clean. Line's good. T-line.
This is setting up somewhat similar, isn't it, to what happened in the first, and then Scotland got the steal of one, right?
Exact same spot, too.
Whoa, then. Whoa, can't bounce. Can't bounce.
Easy. It's bouncing a little.
Can't bounce.
No.
Should curl here, though.
No. No.
Bounce big then. Go.
Gotta hit it.
Go. Gotta hit it.
And it spills off beside.
Okay.
About it. It's a pound heavy, eh?
Yeah.
The yellow's going nowhere.
That's not terrible, Ron.
That really low.
I know, but his didn't.
Knowing Tom, he wants to hit something hard. He can get this red one, but the yellow rock right here will go back onto this red rock and stay. So Tom has to be very careful where he rolls, because there will be a yellow in there for third shot. So if Tom just rolls something like that, there will be then a double for 2 for Glenn. That back yellow will stay. And Tom's going to have to roll probably to the center line.
It's that time of the game, isn't it? Did you hear that deep breath with Tom Brewster? There are some players out there, I suspect, who may be holding their breath at this moment.
Come here. Off. Off. Whoa. Close. Feel good. Yep. Hard. 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 Hard.
Andrews in good fellow. Get it to the nose. Roll it away. And now, how far will it go? Will it spin? Oh, it does. Spins enough. And so now, can the Canadians touch that red somehow and possibly get 2 here?
Oh, no question, Vic. Same shot Glenn just threw.
Less ice. That's center
Gotta
line.
go less ice.
You're right on there.
Okay.
Still have it.
Pinch more.
Like 2-3 feet.
Yeah.
Tom hits another ½ inch of that. He stays for 2. Glenn has to draw for the single. Now this the same stone he just threw.
We didn't sweep that a lick, and we didn't sweep it at all. We make it. I think you can throw.
You can throw like a foot more. Yeah. Okay, let's do that then.
Okay. The exact same with sweeping as makes it too.
So everybody's on the same page.
He loves these.
Final stone. Trying to just touch back. Scottish stones. T-line, edge of the 8-foot. And bring his stone into play. And look at Wayne Maddaw. He's got his arms. Needs to know from the front end where this is going to be. Now, here they go. Just want to touch this red stone back. Just touch it and then roll. Touch it over and roll. There it is for 2, Canada.
Look, it's okay to take the occasional gamble, as long as it's something like switching from boxers to briefs. But you never roll the dice on your truck. So go with the sure thing, Ford F-150. J.D. Howard Associates just gave F-150 their highest award for initial quality. Add to that the best mix of torque and fuel economy you get with its EcoBoost engine, and your money, baby. This is the future. This is the Ford F-150.
Jeff here was personally chosen to be the owner of this Fountain Tire. Why? Because he's personally committed to giving you the best service. That's why Jeff is right here, on the spot, ready to help you himself. Now, right, Jeff? Jeff?
At Fountain Tire, the owners, like Jeff, provide personalized service so you'll keep coming back and even recommend us.
See? That's poetry in motion right there. Not exactly Shakespeare, but so close.
Mary Dobbin has been curling for 3 weeks. She has never really been accurate. But on the last rock of the last end of her Monday Night Women's League, she makes her first raise to the button on purpose. Yeah, that's right. She called it, she made it. And today, for this one moment, Mary Bullseye Dobbin feels like a pro. What will your great moment be?
When the world came to Victoria in 2005, Team Canada's Randy Ferbey had to first win a tiebreaker, then a Page playoff game, a semifinal, and ultimately the championship title. Moments that world curling fans will never forget. And now, it's all coming back. The 2013 Ford World Men. Tickets on sale now.
Let's go back to April the 8th of 2007. Edmonton hosting the Men's World Curling Championship, the final. Glenn Howard of Canada against Andy Capp in Germany. And this one was over early as Howard had an open draw for 4 in the first, and they were off and running. Make the final 8-3 for Canada. And for Craig Saville, Brent Lang, Richard Hart, it was their first World Men's Curling Championship gold. It was Glenn Howard's 3rd championship, but his first as a skip. And it all happened 5 years ago, April the 8th, 2007. As we welcome you back to St. Jakobshalle on this final day of the 2012 World Men's Curling Championship, presented by Ford of Canada. Lovely couple picked up by Canada in the 7th to now lead at 6-4, and Scotland will have the last rock playing the Red Stones here in 8.
You look back, Wayne Maddaw made a beautiful run back to change that end around, then a nice freeze. Glenn's first one went too far, but he got a little lucky. It stopped in a spot that Tom was never going to remove both yellow. Tom could have frozen with his last one if he wanted to. It was dangerous, but he went with the shot he loves, and 1/2 an inch higher, and Tom sits 2, and Canada can only score the single, but he rolled too far.
It's interesting, in the 6th and 7th end, Tom had 3 overcurls, 2 on draws and 1 on hits. So I don't know if he's just not picking up the little bit of finish we're getting on the ice right now, but it's been costly for him.
Could be that stone, could be a shade sharper.
Yeah, back 4, back 8.
We've become used to those numbers for Craig Saville, 95%. And again, 2 rocks in front of the T-line. That means Scotland has the corner guard up, but will have to try and maneuver things. They could go now There's a double left in the middle, but they're going to play these taps that they like to play.
Craig's 95 is one part of the equation. They were so patient with that tap back by Glenn. They wanted to go, but they couldn't because of the line, and they waited until the last second. You hear them saying, we want to sweep, we want to. They hung on as long as they couldn't get the maximum curl out of Glenn's last shot.
Boy, nice shot.
Yeah, okay.
You want to get rid of this pocket.
Okay.
Still a little high? Like that? Or that?
That's fine. Whatever you see. Well,
Peel in the corner makes some sense.
those they freeze into it.
Well, the gentleman on the left is Yuri Schnitil. He is the skip of the Czech Republic from Brno. Disappointing week for them. And down below, some of the members of the Chinese team from Harbin that was skipped by Rui Liu. And they lost to Canada on the final day. There's Rui. And they lost to Canada on the final draw to take themselves out of a tie-breaking situation.
This is trouble.
Okay.
You're Scotland, you couldn't ask for more. You've got a chance to get in behind cover. They're going to try and play a little hit and roll, in that combination that Brent just left in the middle. The red one in front of the yellow really favors Scotland as well.
Yep.
Scott Andrews.
Follow me, guys. Whoa, yep. Really hard. Really, whoa, yeah. Whoa. Whoa, Tommy.
Oh, look at that roll. Pops out just a little bit on the wide side.
That's where I thought Glenn might peel a corner guard. They would drag the play into the rings, and there'd be two, possibly two reds right together where they could double them off. Now the reds are separated.
Yeah? Even if you peel it, it looks like a max two. What if we just nose that? He goes. And he's going to go around.
Go around.
You don't like running the guard back.
At some point, he's probably freezing, though. We pick it, he freezes.
Right?
What's that? If we pick that, he probably freezes again.
Freezes better.
I guess you could nose and roll my way a little bit.
Want to talk about it? Well, I don't know. You're okay. Time out.
Well, they're going to call for a coach's visit. Each team is given one coach's visit. So for the moment, the clock has stopped while the coach, and in this case, it's always been Scott Howard,
I really like the double and roll for some reason. That's still not great.
The alternate fifth position for the team.
You make it go in and guard it.
Yeah, if I just miss this, or if I ever nut it and roll for another guard.
What do you guys liking then?
Well, we're thinking nose it. Nose that, we'll pick it.
Then he's going to freeze again.
Where? On that one?
Yeah, he'll freeze on that one.
And if he ever misses it at all, I think you got to nose it. This one is hittable in the house.
Yeah,
too,
that's what I'm thinking. If he ever gets around,
you see a big half.
he can always run a double
if he ever
later.
just misses the nose.
I'd rather nose this than pick this over here.
Me
so
too.
It's at least in the top.
Me too.
Yeah? No, you like nosing this?
I think so.
Okay.
You like going? If you make that double, that's pretty. It's like
but
great
if you ever nut it, no, exactly. You shoot her to the center or over.
Drawing's really risky, eh?
Like I can make it, I still probably leave something to go around.
Not it. That's not it.
Nose one in the house.
Not this one.
Okay.
If he goes around, you have the double on the outside.
Yeah. It's open. You can see about half of it.
Just in case you missed it, Dad, this is what you can play. I'm up here. I see it, Dad. It's really great for Scott as well. He saw some playing time here late in the week and saw some playing time at the Briar as well.
Peel.
Pretty even between the 2 seconds at the moment.
Brent must have started this when he jammed and across the center line too soon, so he'll make the adjustment here.
Okay. Fine.
And it will sit T-line full in the 12.
We'll see.
Be tempting to freeze down to this. You ever roll out here, Linda?
I'm chuckling a little bit because I think we could probably say the same phrase. We could maybe just record it and hit the button, because if we're watching Scotland, I think there are a lot of times in a game we could say they could draw, but they opt for the hit. The problem with the hit is if you roll out, hardly any room to work on the edge of the 12, and if you roll out, you leave a big advantage for Canada.
Credit to Scotland, they rarely roll out.
They do, they make a lot of these.
Freeze would have been a lower risk option.
Wayne Madaw playing third stones now here in this 8th.
Hard! Hard! Whoa, 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 whoa. So I'll get it over a couple feet. Okay.
Two more nose hits, there might be a double as it creeps up the ice.
It's not quite like the numbers we've seen from Wayne in round robin.
For every member of the team, there have been these mistakes. Not often do we say that, but sometimes not caused by the player either. We've seen some brushing errors.
Oh, yeah, good enough to hold the line, and now they'll roll it, just covering the pin.
Just clean. Yep. Just clean. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yep, just nice. Clean. Yep. Yep. Go, Wayner. What? Good, Wayne. Good job. Just roll. It looks like you're tipping them in, and I get a little nervous. That definitely wasn't in.
Let's get a little nervous there.
I think I'll do just as much, Greg. Yeah.
You look at Wayne and Glenn together, and you think of all that experience, and for either of them to say they get a little nervous, yes, you still do.
Hard! Hard! Hard!
Roll it away. No, we'll sit right there.
I think what I really like about Wayne is he's sort of matter of fact, and if anybody gets excited around him, he's the one that seems to just tell it like it is and calm everyone down. He's got a great attitude.
He does. He's a super team player.
So Skip Stone's here in this 8th, and it's set up for Scotland to possibly get there too. If you're the Canadians, are you going to... Is there anything you can do to prevent this? Would you roll over behind the corner if you could? Or are you just resigned that this is setting up for the deuce unless they roll out?
Yeah, Glenn's going to try this absolutely dead on, because any roll at all, it comes deeper, Vic, and then he's hoping Tom Brewster hits it dead on. Then there might be an angle for a double. You didn't really want to roll that far. Now when Tom hits a dead on, there will not be a double. So all Glenn will have is to hit Tom's if he hits it dead on and roll in behind that corner.
Well, you see some of the French team skipped by Thomas Dufour. Thomas is not there. The team from Chamonix. It's nice to see some of these familiar faces once a year at the Worlds. Thomas does a lot to keep the game alive in France.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Yep, hard! Whoa, yeah! Clean! Yep, hard! Good talk. Good talk.
Nothing to lose for Glenn now. He hits it, it's going to be wide open hit, so you might as well take the chance and try to somehow get one back into this area and make it more difficult for Tom.
Okay, not quite feel.
Okay. They're just full 12, sir.
Yeah. You heard them. Here is Brent, always aware, just saying that they're just... Let's take a look at the skip numbers.
And right now an advantage for Tom Brewster at 84%. Interesting the balance of draws and hits that the players have played. That means we've seen a lot of hits, but also a lot of draws.
The player numbers are brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And unable to roll it away, and it looks as if from that overhead that the shot stone is Scotland on the edge of the
Just come in, just set it a bit. Sorry.
edge of the 12, so no fooling here. They'll make the draw for 2. Now that would knock you off their chair if they played the hit on that stone.
You're right.
You'd fall right over.
Yeah, I might stop talking for an end, which
please
don't want that to happen.
Tom.
Come on, Vic. You're supposed to say you don't want that. No, this is a draw, but it presents, if this is made, a very interesting approach for the next end.
Yeah, do you try to blanket and take the hammer if you're Canada to 10? You think back to 7, the Canadians were hoping to maybe even blank then, and got 2.
Got the 2 out of it.
Stay down on it, Scott.
Scotland will pick up a pair here in 8. We're all tied. The World Men's Curling Championship presented by Ford of Canada.
Good day, guys.
To increase fuel efficiency, it injects tiny droplets of fuel directly into the combustion chamber, so you can enjoy every drop. The all-new Ford Focus.
Canadians are crazy about curling, and so are their kids. Thanks to the Capital One Rocks and Rings program, thousands of kids across Canada have learned about curling in their elementary schools. From coast to coast, Rocks and Rings has kids screaming, "Hurry hard!" and having a great time doing it. Our instructors get kids active and excited to learn about a new sport. The kids love it, the teachers love it, and the best part is, the whole program comes to you. To get Rocks and Rings in your school, visit rocksandrings.com.
All right, let's eat. What's this? New beef lasagna casserole.
Tim's has lasagna now?
With garlic toast.
Oh, yeah, that's good. It's like home cooking.
Yeah. Thanks, Mommy. I mean, Manny, money. My man. Thanks, my man. What?
Tim Hortons new beef lasagna casserole, made with ricotta cheese, basil, oregano, and a tasty tomato sauce. Served with garlic toast, just $4.49.
Saw live TV on your phone?
Yeah, I'm catching the game now.
That's TV? How many channels you got?
26.
Let me see. Oh, I love that show.
Isn't that your number?
I'm in no hurry. Shove over, darling. Oh. Now see, that's how you treat a woman.
Valve brings you superphones with over 25 live TV channels.
In his first 2 seasons of curling, Alex Marchand won 7 games. 8 games. In that time, he put together a 2-game winning streak, got new uniforms, met an Olympic gold medalist, made the front page of Curling Monthly. He explained to his boss what sweeping does, and got his butt kicked by a guy with a fake hip. Yes, Alex the Hack Marchand has had quite a year, and it all started with a click.
It has an available dual-clutch 6-speed automatic transmission that changes gears so efficiently, you can get up to 977 highway kilometers on a single tank, changing the way you think about changing gears. The all-new Ford Focus.
Time now for the M&M Meat Shop's Final End Challenge. Right after the game, go to finalend.ca and enter the secret word for a chance to win a trip for 2 to see the 2013 World Junior Curling Championships in Sochi, Russia. The first 100 entries will have a chance to win a $50 M&M gift card, and all participants will get an M&M discount. So here we go. Tied at 6. It's the 9th. And Canada does have the last rock playing the yellow stones. So what do you play for? You play for the deuce, or do you play for the blank to have the hammer in 10?
Well, definitely the blank, Vic, and Canada's just sent the signal there. Go ahead and hit it. If you make one mistake at all, Glenn will run the center when he gets the chance and try to blank. So Tom's figured it out this time. He was hitting it in the 7th before, but now he's saying, look, I'm going to force you one way or the other. And what so often happens, Linda, and you know that as well as I do, Scotland tries so hard to force, they end up giving up 2 or 3.
And the interesting part about the whole equation is that you know Scotland would rather hit. Sometimes you see a very aggressive team be in this position and they're confident about making these guards and come-arounds, and so they actually are successful at forcing. But if you go halfway, you play a couple of guards, then you try and hit, sometimes that's when you get caught giving up the big end. So it's all out guards for Scotland right now. Nicely played by Michael.
Craig Saville.
This is where you want Mr. Automatic here.
Rope, weight's good. Getting the hair tight. Ball rope. Rope. Ball rope. Line's good. Whoa, rope. Line's good. Line's real good. Got to curl it back. Easy, 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 easy. Yep. What's up?
Very nice spot in behind cover and high enough that when and if Scotland freezes perfectly, there's a little bit of space for Canada to score 2 if it stays in this situation.
Yep. Hard line. Whoa, wheel in out. Yep.
Light on leg. Light on leg.
Whoa, yes!
Do it.
Whoa.
Small bump.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa, whoa. Off.
Do it.
Yep. Gotta go. Gotta go for line.
Mike just kept on guard.
I'll do it too if I move.
I think you did. I don't know where it was.
You need we got to move a rock, so time out.
There's a brush or touch to stationary stone on the way by. They're just going to try and reposition it.
Absolutely no idea.
With his foot. He moved a fair bit.
Definitely moved through his foot.
Yeah.
Not that much. They're pretty lined
Sounds
up.
good.
Were they? Okay.
Good? No, that's fine.
That's good. Sure. Yeah.
Just peel the segment, the one?
Yeah, if you peel the one.
So there's no controversy. We'll just peel it, guys.
There's a little touch.
Michael Goodfellow hooking his shoe around the stone, basically almost spinning it in the spot. Fred Lang. Uh-oh.
Yep.
Might get it the other way.
That picked.
Yeah, it did.
Picked twice.
It's picking in my hand every time, that rock.
They chose the same stones as yesterday, so I figured they were confident with them.
It's the exact same thing it did last time.
Yeah?
Just as I let it go, it hooked, and then we had half rock the hog line, it picked again.
That's like 3 times it's happened to Brandy. He had one at the far end. Remember, he was playing a run back. Looked like he had it, missed it completely, rolled out.
So how does it change the end, Linda?
Well, that would have been a clearing shot, trying to open it up and still potentially build towards a blank, believe it or not, even with all these rocks. But now Scotland will put another one in behind cover.
No, nothing. No, absolutely nothing. That's bigger than that. It's out.
Wow.
And all the way through Scott Andrews.
You think it was heavier out there? Overthrew it.
That's a big mistake.
Yeah, that one?
Big mistake. You know what Canada's trying to do. They're trying to blank.
Yeah, but you don't have to go for it too hard, right? We're still one buried.
Langer, you threw the last one fine.
Hey,
You threw the last one fine.
That's good. I mean, that's for the skip to realize that, to tell him, and you know, Brent Lang knows, Russ, that it may have been the stone may have picked, but that reassurance from the skip, that's nice to hear.
Great timing, isn't it? You know, in this pressure situation, and Brent's had a couple rocks he'd like back and a couple that have grabbed. It's easy to lose your confidence.
Whoa, whoa.
Trying the double peel.
Okay.
For the moment, Canada is sitting 1. at Yellowstone, top of the 4th.
Good shot. One more go. Oh.
I don't need a grab.
No. What about hitting that wide one and rolling in?
Yeah.
But even if you just
And then
knows
we
it,
pull the guard. Don't mind that.
You want to call timeout?
If you want.
Don't know if we need to.
So time has been called now. It's a coach's visit again. If you're just joining us, unlike Canada, where the teams get 90 seconds from calling the timeout, here in the world situation, the coach is given a set amount of time to reach the far end or the near end.
Pretty good just now
And
for
when
that
he gets
guard.
there, the time will
As in,
start.
If they're running it. Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking how we're going to get rid of that yellow.
Well,
I think you've got to corner freeze it.
Or we play the hit and roll.
And then
You've got bank on them losing it or something to get a crack at a double. They're just going to roll back to the wing.
That's quite happy with them hitting when we hit.
I mean, if we hit.
No, I'm saying if we hit and roll and lie open, he hit and rolls back to the wing. We're kind of back at square one.
Right now we're like losing 2.
I know.
See that, or you throw the out turn. The problem with the out turn is that if you are short and they run the guard,
We could play
it's
the run
knocking.
back. We could play the run back.
What do you think of the hit and roll with the yellow?
Yeah, that's I quite like that.
Yeah.
I think
Hit and float, even if you're at the side of the forefoot.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, you all right with that?
Yep.
You know what you're doing
You want
afterwards?
to throw normal?
If you want, what's it doing?
It'll do a wee bit.
A wee bit.
Remember, we threw them.
Okay. Yeah.
We just wanted to stretch the legs.
Timeouts can be very tough, but a couple of things that you look for in is the team set as to what they want to accomplish. It's clear with this shot when the coach comes out and says he thinks the hit, but I'm not really sure if they have the picture yet as to how this end will proceed after this hit.
Yeah, I don't like this call at all. Even if you make this, you're way behind the tee line. You're back 8, you're back 4. It's another rock that Canada can use. You're not going to be anywhere near shot rock.
Yep.
Greg Drummond.
Clean. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa.
Go.
Trying to roll it over. And they will grab the back of the button. Shot Stone.
I lied. He shot rock.
That's amazing. That is a great roll. And a good line call. These aren't easy from that outside in, often very straight.
So much danger, Linda. Stops edge of the 4. Canada rolls in behind. You hit it thinner. You're back 8 that they can freeze to. There's a chance to score 3.
He was very impressive. We said it before. Very impressive in the game against
just make the top double and have
Sweden, the semifinal last evening. That's maybe the biggest difference I've seen, Linda, just as Russ, is there's a maturity in this team from a year ago. Having been here before. Mada. Bang, bang, and he'll get the 2 stones off the front.
That's a great shot. Just a perfect shot because there's the blank opportunity is now available for Canada.
Beauty.
Great shot.
Thanks. That's ideal. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
I've been counting. I think that's Wayne's 3rd double of the game. 2 early ones and lots of other great hits that were not doubles.
Well, Scotland has to control the 2 red rocks. Not only remove this one that's partially on top of their own, but try to stay.
Hard. Every inch, Mike. Hard, guys. Come on, Mike. Hard. Come on, Mike. Hard. Clean. Hard. Yeah. Clean. Whoa. Yeah.
Very nice to chip it around. And Scotland is sitting the 2 without last rock here in the 9th.
Board.
And 93, of course, he was playing second for you along with Peter Corner and Glenn. That was in Geneva, I believe. And then, of course, he won on his own, picking up a World's Championship as a skip. So can he win a World now as a third?
It looked like it wanted to curl the whole way.
Sounded like it.
Lean to nice soft weight there. We saw the game last night that tracked a little bit in that spot.
Right, guys. Right in the beat. Or a half stone to you. Half stone.
Barry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tom puts a lot of rotation on this in turn, and he makes a lot of them, but this is pretty straight, or he can't pop this wide.
It's uppercut. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Hard. Hard. Clean. Yep. Hard. Clean. Yep. Hard. Hard.
And then you leave it right there. Edge of the 8-foot.
Good sweeping, guys. Good.
Big half.
Okay.
3 choices here. You could try the double, which is what they're trying. You could hit and roll on top, or you could even freeze to the shot rock. And hope for a mistake out of Scotland.
Skinny half?
Half rock? Thick half, isn't it?
Half a rock.
Instead of thinking about the outcome here, think of the process. It's just like a peel. You would hit half a rock. The top one would hit half. Your shooter rolls out, and that'd be very close to making the red double.
Canada very much wanting to blank this end.
Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Glenn Howard at his first.
Whoa. Inch. Curl an inch.
Curl an inch. Going to catch it.
Throw, Glenn.
It's so straight there. Sorry, guys. God, I like that one too.
You threw it good. Didn't
just run.
Didn't curl up.
I know. Get down to your fourth. We'll get hammered down the last day.
We talked about that spot being straight, and time to let that one back. Just any more curl, he makes the double. No, Tom's got a wonderful chance to force here.
Most important thing is put it in the paint.
Yeah.
Let's not leave him a slash, half slash double.
50. What you've been throwing? Yeah, it's not even thrown.
Now, earlier we heard this kind of description. You know, just put it in the paint. I mean, is the paint top 12? Is the paint back 12? Paint T-line 8-foot? Where do you want to put it?
Well, there's two choices. You can put it so that it is high and deep, or you can even them up. And I think they're going for the even position.
Level, guys. T-high. Yep. Level. Clean. Clean.
Really good.
Easy. Yep. Hard, Scott. Go, Scott, go!
Good shot. Good judge, guys.
Going to the loo. Too flat, is it, Russ?
I think it is actually there, but why? You know, I know Glenn's old school because he's old, but even if you miss it, you're one down. He doesn't like that. He would rather be one up without than one down with.
And that still is a decision you can make when you're facing this, whether or not you even want the point or not, but it's pretty clear with the weight choice here. This is a hit and stay for the single.
Facing two with his last. Glenn Howard.
Hard. Hard.
Boy, they're going to hold this for the line now.
Gotta go.
Hard.
Trying to hold it for the line here.
Good.
And there it is. They'll get a little roll to the center line for a single. Canada will take the lead through 9. Scotland will have the last rock and try to win it coming home.
With the professional, independent advice of a licensed insurance broker working for you, you can sleep easy. Insurance brokers don't work for an insurance company. They find you the best insurance, getting you the right coverage at the right price, and are there to help in the event of a claim, so you can sleep easy. Your best insurance is an insurance broker.
Well, it's time now for the M&M Meat Shop's Final End Challenge. And the secret word on this championship day is lead. After the game, go to finalend.ca and enter that secret word lead for a chance to win a trip for two to see the 2013 World Junior Curling Championships in Sochi, Russia. And the World Championship trophy that will be presented to the winning team here in St. Jakobshalle in Basel, as we welcome you back. And we'll go to the 10th. Canada leads by 1, 7-6. But it is Scotland and Tom Brewster, the team from Aberdeen, that has the last rock. They have the hammer playing the Red Stones. Craig Saville and his first.
And this is when Craig plays a huge part in this end. They would love this one in its usual spot, top 4. And the corner guard will go up from Scotland.
Time. Right tight. Right off. Huge line 2. Right off. Tight. It's going now. Please fine. 3. Easy off. Outside. Off. Off. Off, Greg. Yep. Hard! Hard, Scott, hard. Good, Mikey. Good, Michael.
You feel the nerves, Linda, on every shot here.
Well, Tom is that kind of player. Again, they were dusting, thinking everything was fine with that guard, and all of a sudden the hard comes and you're jumping down a brush. It's a little bit of a roller coaster, an emotional roller coaster for Tom, but he is playing very well.
This has to slow down here. Could over curl.
Okay.
And it does a little bit. Leaves the stone exposed.
Yeah. You want to push it through or just push it back? Okay. Just get the same way I've been throwing. Yeah, back 8. Back 4 weight. Back 4, yeah. Okay. 3:05. 3 seconds, Mickey. Just what you've been throwing coming up here. Yeah, yeah. Perfect.
In this area, you can get a little bit of frost sometimes late in the game like this. So you don't have to be shot rock at this point in time, but you would like to get this certainly behind the tee line.
Touch back. 10. Yep. Hard. Gotta go, guys. Hard. Really hard. Really hard. Keep it going. Hard. Go, go, go. Go.
5.
Whoa.
And now tapping it back. They were looking for back 4 weight, and that's exactly what he gave him. And a deep breath from Michael Goodfellow.
That was just by the guard.
That's unbelievable. You could over curl in that spot.
Try and bump it out.
Some of the Danish team members. The gentleman right in the middle of your picture is Ramesh Sterne. He's the skip, and there are the Germans. They were skipped by Johnny Jahr of Hamburg.
How's that one?
All of them here for the closing ceremonies and the award presentations.
Tough little shot here for Langer, because if he hits it on the high side, it could redirect onto the back Canadian rock.
Yep. Through. Yep. Gotta go. Real hard.
Now, this is going to be life and death to get it by their own center line guard, and they won't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good at all, because you've got corner guards are usable for Scotland.
I think if we freeze it, they're just going to blast that way.
Yeah.
So I think the wee roll's good.
Yeah.
Just refusing to freeze to that back rock. It's so tempting to freeze to that.
No, it's very scary to be hitting in this particular situation. You need to control the shooter.
Scott Andrews.
Off. Yep. Gotta go, guys. Clean. Yep.
Hard. Never off.
Hard! Hard, Greg! Go hard!
Real big scrub. And no, they'll bang it right on the nose. They're looking to roll it a little bit to the outside, is what Brewster was hoping. Canada trying to defend the World Championship won a year ago by Jeff Stoughton in Regina. Canada with 33 championships. The Scots have won the title 5 times, the last by David Murdoch in 2009.
Two choices: freeze to the back one and try to create a mistake, or just hit and roll here. They're going to throw the soft hit and roll with Langer.
Come up. Come up.
Yep. Go, 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 go.
And rolling it almost on top, and that seemed to grab two.
Did it
as
ever?
it got just to the top edge of the 4-foot.
Sorry, Vic. Yes, it did. It really curled. It looked like it was rolling out all day.
Yep.
So maybe not quite as much action in the houses now.
Sam. Yep. All the way. You got to go hard.
All right, guys.
Clear. Yes!
Hard, Greg.
Really hard, Greg. Come on!
And again,
really hard!
One more time, trying to hold this. Oh, very nice to avoid the jam. And that shooter now rolls over and just covers that stone.
Most important thing in life.
But here's the guy you want to be lining up for this double attempt.
Took the words out of my mouth. This will be humming.
Wayne Maddaw. Third stones here in this 10th. Canada leads by 1.
Are you kidding me?
You know, he stuffed it.
She'll slip it. She'll slip it.
Canada leads by 1-7-6. Let's check the game story.
In the first half, it was the decision by Tom Brewster in the third that we questioned, and that was the big score for Canada. But a brilliant force last in, a couple of problems for Canada, including a pick, and that means that Scotland has the hammer in a very scary situation for Canada. Tom Brewster having another good game.
The game story brought to you by M&M Meat Shops. Hundreds of meal ideas, one aisle.
Changing turns here with Greg Drummond, and they're going to try to play the aggressive roll across the sheet a little bit. They have to hang around.
Yep, it's good. Whoa, whoa, close. Yeah, hard, really hard. Come on, Mike. Hard,
Goodfellow and Andrews now trying to roll it away, and they will roll it to the top of the 8-foot. Scotland continues to sit 2. They have last rock, needing 1 to tie, 2 to win.
Wayne was robbed on the first one. Hit it so good he couldn't decide which way to hit it back and jammed it.
Close. Whoa, 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 whoa.
One more try at it. And attaboy, he's got it this time. Wayne Maddaw.
It's a great shot, but the one nice thing that Scotland did in maneuvering those rocks around is that Canada loses their shooter on that double attempt. And don't forget that Scotland started building with a corner guard, and so yes, Canada had to slash it to get rid of it. With the shooter rolling out, there's still a chance for Scotland to go around their corner.
The other side of the coin is they're running out of chances all of a sudden, because if they don't get their 2 here, the advantage goes back to Canada in the extra end. So Greg needs to hide this in front of the tee line.
Looks big. Light. Touch for light, yep. Gotta go. Come on, Scott. Hard.
Greg Drummond.
Hard, he's good.
Good fellow, Andrews. Boy, it's diving now at these guards. They got to get it by the guard, though. It's their only got to get it by. Here it goes. Get it by that one. No.
Okay, Greg. Okay.
They let up a little bit, it seemed to me, down the middle. I'm not sure whether they could have saved it at all, but there was that little hesitation.
I think they knew that it had the right weight, and they were hoping it didn't continue to curl, but it did, and rolled quite a ways over, actually. Gives Glenn a good chance to try and draw the play.
Bad news for Scotland is they roll deep enough. Glenn just simply hits and stays. Scotland goes around the corner guard. They will not be shot rock.
Scotland can use this rock that Glenn is throwing, but I think Glenn much prefers this position with the play in the center.
Clean. Oh, got right off, right off.
Forward. Right off.
Clean.
Right off his wrist.
Clean. Yep. Yep. Like that. Yep. Yep. Right there, right there, right there, right there. Good shot.
Okay. Well, Tom Brewster, of course, winning the silver medal a year ago. When you look back, there are other Scots who have done a similar thing. Win a silver one year and then come back with the gold the very next, including David Murdoch in 2006, David Smith, who is here, of course, from Perth, and he's doing commentary, international commentary. So win a silver, come back the next year, win gold, and that's what Tom Brewster is trying to do here for Scotland.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Off. Whoa. Right off. Close. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Off. Whoa. Close, Scott.
Now roll it over. How far can they get this? Can they tuck up piece? Oh, goodness. What a roll.
Wow.
That's his game, the hitting game. We thought that maybe if the play was drawn far enough that you'd think about drawing around that Yellowstone, but no, not Scotland, and what a great roll.
Unbelievable.
Is that the golden roll, possibly for Scotland? And now, what's left for Howard and Canada?
He can be a little deep here because it will finish. We watched Greg Dummins over curl by quite a bit, so there's lots of swoop here. Just picking the right speed.
So putting it on the corner. Final stone here in 10.
Wait only. Wait only.
Glenn Howard has to be on that corner.
The line's getting better. Still room, though. Still room. Still room. Lots of room. Lots of room.
Has to be right down on that corner.
Still room. No line. No line. No line.
Calling him off. Saville, Lang. Oh, there's the little bump now. Can you get to the face and tap that back for the win?
I don't know. That's tough.
It's there. Definitely there. Good throw.
Oh, 2 inches heavier, and it's wide open. It just ground in at the end.
No.
Great attempt. And these are the type, Linda, that you have to go for them. You can tick the guard, you can high side it and give up a steal. It's hard to score your single here. It's either 2 or nothing.
But this is the opportunity. You cannot avoid this. If you happen to go an extra without hammer, it's very difficult against someone like Craig Saville who makes the ticks.
Yeah.
Well, this is your chance if you're Tom Brewster.
Tom's overthrown a couple of these during the week. He sure played well today. That roll was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So for the win, possibly. Canada is sitting 1. And Howard and Wayne Middaugh look on the Scottish bench. Final stone. Get to the face. Tap it back. Sit 2. Good fellow Andrews being called right off. Got to get to the face, tap it back. They haven't laid a lick to it. Get to the face, touch it back, get to the face, touch it, roll it far enough. No, won't. He killed his own, and we are going to go one more. Scotland gets a single. Canada will have the hammer in an extra.
Sorry, boys.
It's more than just a barbecue. It's a Broil King, a cooking system engineered for outstanding performance, durability, and versatility. Sear steaks to perfection, rotisserie cook your favorite roast, pan fry or saute effortlessly, or bake a traditional style pizza or even an elaborate dessert. A barbecue dedicated to giving you the exceptional results you demand. Built with pride, built in North America, built to last. The features you need, the performance you expect. Results will speak for themselves. Broil King, great barbecues every time.
Our stories are told in our colors. Stories of struggle and accomplishment. They tell us who we are and what we're made of. The 2012 Canadian Olympic Team Collection from Hudson's Bay Company, exclusively at the Bay and Zellers.
Fleas can be a real irritation, but they don't have to be. Advantage works fast to kill fleas on contact, because your pet has better things to do than scratch. Ask your veterinarian for Advantage. Learn more at nofleas.ca.
Our thanks to everyone this week here at Basel and the Jakobshalle. It's been a wonderful World Championship. Our thanks to the organizing committee as we go to an extra in a 7-7 tie. Scotland was the opportunity there. They miss it. And so now, here in this extra, Canada will have the last rock playing the Yellowstones.
3 games Canada, Scotland, 3 games tied, either coming home or in an extra end. Coming home tied in the round robin, and the 1-2 game, and here extra ends. Just incredible curling. What a roll by Tom Brewster. Any lighter, he makes that for 2.
And this end is all about the leads. This is a nice guard, but you know what Canada is going to do. They're going to try the tick, and they've been very successful with Craig this season, making these move over, just push them to the side, leave Glenn that 4-foot.
He made 4 in a row last night in the 1-2 game.
That 1-2 page playoff also went to an extra as Canada got their single in 11 to win 7-6.
Go, 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 go.
And he'll push it to cover the edge of the 8.
I try to work really hard to get the yellow one, the Canadian stone, to go as far as possible, because once the peeling occurs, they want to have nothing in the way, nothing to bounce the guard off of, potentially into the house.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Easy. Whoop, Scots. Whoop. Let it cuddle. Yep, hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go, Scott. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. It's good there.
Good, Mike.
Good, Mike.
I like the choice of Tom to move the guard over a little bit, because sometimes when that guard is on center line, the tick, you've got in your mind how you're going to play it, and it seems quite natural to come up to center line with it. So they've moved it over a little bit, challenged Craig with a new spot.
Wait's perfect. Whoa, whoa. Wait's perfect.
No.
Wait's perfect.
No.
Should finish here.
No. 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 We got to think of it.
Get over there.
Get
Attaboy,
over.
Sal.
Keep going. Keep going.
Attaboy.
Hey, shooting, Savvy. Good shoot. Pretty good there at the shot. Can't go up the hill.
Well, it's been a while since a world final has gone to an extra end. The last was back in 1999. And it was again Scotland and Canada, and Hammy McMillan scored 1 in the extra to beat Jeff Stoughton. Scotland won their 3rd World Championship that year. They've added 2 more through David Murdoch.
Yep. Gotta go. Clean.
Of course, Stoughton got his World Championship, another one last year in Regina.
Good, Scott. Attaboy.
That could come in though, eh?
Yeah? What?
Good.
Oh, whatever. Whatever you like.
What do you like, Brent?
I don't care.
Okay.
I like that way. Where am I trying to go? We're
A
trying
little
to get 7, 8, 3
dangerous
quarters.
here. If you hit the top one
You have
thin,
the
you hit the
orange
second
center
one,
on the
goes on to the third, could spin in the ring.
Yeah. You have to hit less than half.
What?
You have to hit less than half to hit it into the pile.
Okay.
Hit 3 quarters.
Brent Lang.
Hi. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa,
Something. Go up. Nice shot, Langer.
No, he'll get rid of a couple, and now watch where the raised rock goes out the back. So it leaves just the one corner now covering the edge of the, or covering all of the 8-foot, pardon me.
With the little things that have gone wrong for Brent in this game, including the picks, I'm sure he's just happy that that one took a natural path down the ice.
You always feel more pressure when you're struggling in a game, and I'm not sure it's him. It could be the equipment with the rock, but great throw there. And again, 6 ticks in a row for Saville.
Heads up, boys.
Yep. Hard. Clean. Oh. Clean. Oh. Clean. Yep. Get it by the other one.
Buzz.
It's good there, Scotty.
Watch the shooter. Watch the shooter. You might get something out of it. Okay.
That's some of you guys.
Yeah.
Third stones, and this is Greg Drummond.
3. 2.5. Good. Line's good. Yep. Clean. Yep.
Steady diet to guards here. They like it a little deeper than that corner, so Wayne can't double them off.
Gotta go, Mike. Come on, hard. Go hard. Go hard. Clean. Good.
You know how frustrating this is for Scotland, though. They had the chance in 10 to make the tap, don't make it, and now you just see those guards get pushed away.
Wayne's gone before Stone even comes to a rest. Well, he knows what he's going to be playing, too, so that helps. The lady on the left, of course, Sherry Madaw, right in the middle. That is Judy Howard, and on the left is Craig Saville's wife, Karen, and Sherry, of course, a provincial champion both in Saskatchewan and Ontario.
You like that? Yeah. Okay.
So the Scots have taken a coach's visit here. Each team has given one in the extra.
Okay. I think so. Same place as the last. It's quite good.
With mine, come round, then put the guard up. Let them have a go at it.
All right, boys.
What do you think?
You reckon coming now? Well, then put the guard up and let them have a go at us. All right, put the guard here.
The choice is whether to keep putting the guard up or to come in now. Now, this is very similar to what we watched yesterday. One's the timing to come in and potentially have Glenn face 2 with his last.
Okay.
So Ron Brewster heads back. Decisions made.
Just the way it's been, eh? See line. Yep. Okay. Pretty good. That's okay?
Yep.
10, 15. 15.
Greg Drummond.
So let me ask you a question, Ross. You saw Glenn standing back there. How long did you spend thinking about your last stone, knowing how this end has proceeded and thinking about the potential for what you'll have left? Did you think about it for a while, or did you wait till the last rock landed?
No, I used to think about it. I really did. I think you can't keep it out of your mind, really. It's so important to know the spots. And you start thinking about the spots you want to throw on and what's available. And what I really tried to watch was that shot, for instance. Is there any changes? Is it speeding up? Luckily for Glenn, he just threw a great draw here to basically save the game. And it was in a quick spot. It might be a little slower going to the middle. And those are the things you think about.
So they go deep with Greg Drummond's. Now Canada will peel the guard. It's that decision of when to go. Sometimes you wait for your skipper's stone. They would decide to go with the last of Drummond.
Yeah.
Right, wrong, or?
No, it didn't really work yesterday, so I guess they're just thinking try something a little bit different. Now that one went further than they wanted as well. They were hoping it would be quite a good stone. Then the middle would be blocked, and then Glenn would have to draw a tougher draw.
I would have waited one more shot, Vic, to answer that question, because now Tom has no choice but throw up the center. Glenn will take a crack on the outturn side of making the peel first, but if Wayne can sweep it properly, he can get that back one out of the rings. If you waited one more, that shot wouldn't be there.
Just clean. Just clean. Got it, Carl. Mike's. Yeah, room is that. Just clean. Yep.
The other part about it is, I guess if you're going to have somebody throwing at this, they might prefer to have the skip rather than Wayne.
Every inch! Every inch! Hard! Go! Go, Mike! Go! Swept.
You're going to be lining this up. The main things don't hit it dead on, so you have to be careful. You miss high side, great, but if it looks like it's there, Wayne will try to call it.
Feel it? Yeah. Try and pick. Sure. And get the back.
And you heard him say, if it's there, we'll take it, the run back. It's, yeah, quite often tougher on the families.
Clean. Clean. Close, close. Clean it. Close. Just clean. Close. Just clean. Shot it, Glenn.
Good.
Soft, Glenn.
One thing the Brushers did very well the last time we saw this process was get it into the right spot, not too deep where it could be hit for shot rock. This is a testy little shot for the entire team.
15's pretty good. Yep.
I'm going to keep an eye on the speed here, because it's a similar line that he will throw.
Mike's.
Final stone for Scotland.
Hard.
Tom Brewster.
Big line. Hard.
We want to leave this short here. Andrew's a good fellow. This is a big drag for them now. Trying to get it to the 8 foot. 8 foot, maybe a little bit more. Grab the 4. No, they'll stop full 8. And they can't hit it and be shot, so it'll be the draw.
Great effort out of Tom Brewster. You give up that 3, which was a silly 3, and they bounced back and controlled the game for the most part in the last half.
I also like the positioning of the rock that Tom just threw. It means that Glenn goes to the other side from what he played in 10 and from most of the shots this end.
Brennan knows the path. They've seen it before. Throw it 4 feet light. Give it to them.
Final stone. Drawing against a couple for the World Championship. And they need 4 foot.
Line's good.
Brent Lang on the left, Craig Saville on the right. You can hear now. Wayne Madaw This is a big brush now. They got to get into the forefoot. Take it down to the forefoot for a world championship. Bite the red for a world championship. Take it in for a world championship for Canada. And how special is the moment to celebrate it with his son, Scott. As Glenn Howard and the team turn around to the families that are up in the upper reaches, and there are tears, as you might expect. Canada and Glenn Howard are the world champions here in Basel, Switzerland.
Road trip.
Now?
Crest White Strips 2-Hour Express. In just 2 hours, you can have a noticeably whiter smile that lasts for months.
Hi.
Hi. 2-Hour White Strips from Crest. Life opens up when you do.
You always wanted the biggest, baddest beard. Keep living the dream with Just for Men Gel.
That gray beard is a new baby.
The way it moves, the way it cleans, everything about Oral-B Power Brushes is designed for superior brushing. Our dentist-inspired brush head cleans in 3 dimensions, surrounding each tooth to power away up to twice as much plaque as a regular manual brush. Join the revolution at oralb.ca.
When you use CIL Golf Green, you take lawn care a little more seriously.
So this is your second summer cutting lawns, and you think that qualifies you for the job? I see your company has 2 employees. I heard you cut Thompson's lawn. Sorry, that's either him or me. Congratulations. You're hired.
For a seriously green lawn, ask for CIL Golf Green. It's guaranteed. Available at Canadian Tire.
Love Tim's fruit smoothies.
Yeah, peach mango. So tropical.
Imagine we're enjoying our smoothies on an exotic beach. When a hunky lifeguard surfer approaches.
Anyone seen the Staples?
Bye-bye, stapler guy.
Made with a full serving of fruit. Tim Hortons Real Fruit Smoothies in new peach mango. Just $1.99.
Daniel and Grace dream of retiring. Proper protection, an emergency savings plan, adequate retirement income, and taking the trip of a lifetime to Paris. But how can Daniel and Grace make their dreams come true? At World Financial Group, we help families like Daniel and Grace make their financial dreams a reality. Let us help your family too. World Financial Group, your dreams, our strategies.
What is pure comfort? It's a soft blanket after a hard day. Pure comfort is the touch of a childhood friend. Pure comfort is a moment to yourself. Pure comfort is what you trust. Purex is pure comfort.
For a world championship for Canada. A 4th world championship for Glenn Howard out of the Coldwater and District Curling Club, and Glenn is with Linda.
Well, Glenn, Scotland threw everything at you. Great win.
Thanks, Linda. It wasn't our best game collectively. The ice was fantastic. We got a couple little runs there that we weren't picking up on, but we hung in there. We were patient the whole time. And again, Craig making the 2 chip shots in that extra end. Got a little fortunate. Tommy's didn't come over in the 10th end. It was a little straighter. We were all getting burned on that a little bit, but oh God, it feels good.
But that's the kind of season it's been. You've had to make some big shots, recover from some mistakes, and you've done it.
That's so true, Linda, and I think most of my guys do that. One guy's down a bit, the next guy picks us up. We don't have too many peaks and valleys, but kudos to my boys. They've made everything all year, and it's been a trip.
Congratulations on your 4th.
Oh, thanks very much, Linda. It feels sweet. I'm exhausted.
Well, for Tom Brewster and his family, his wife Kim, native of Edmonton, they were in this situation last year in Regina, coming up short, losing to Stoughton. Tom Brewster is with Linda.
Well, Tom, I know it's very disappointing. It's the 2nd year in a row, but it was a wonderful game.
Yeah, I'm pleased it was good for you all, and you know, we gave it our best out there tonight, and I thought we were the best team. I really did. I thought we played some great curling, and we just a bad 3 and an inch of curl in 10, and we're there, you know. But
we've seen a lot of improvement in this team. 12 months from last year, I thought great strides taken with all team members.
Yeah, we made massive and big improvements on fitness, sweeping, just the experience, you know. We've had a great season on the tour. We had a great time in Langley at the Continental Cup, you know, and another strong week here, you know. So they've got a big future.
Good luck.
Thank you.
They are the bronze medal winners, the team from Sweden out of Karlstad, without Nicholas Edin. Sebastian Krauk nearest in the foreground, taking over the skipping along with Fredrik Lindberg and Oscar Eriksson, Victor Schall, and the 2-time world champion, 2-time Olympic gold medalist Eva Lund coaching the team. Well, he said to Linda Russ that he thought he was the better team today. I know after the 1-2 game, he thought they were close to the Canadians. But, you know, it's that one shot, that one opportunity that really has given the Canadians and Howard so many wins this year. He punishes you. And that missed opportunity in 10, another silver medal for Brewster of Aberdeen.
Yeah, what a great run by Tom Brewster. One mistake, that 3-ender was so costly. He almost made a brilliant shot in the 10th. He made a great one with his first one. Couldn't quite recap it, or he would have won the World Championship. Kudos to Scotland.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to 2012.
And as the Canadian families look on, here they are, the 2012 Men's World Curling Champions from the Coldwater and District Curling Club. Glenn Howard, Wayne Madaw, Brent Lang, Craig Saville, Scott Howard, and their coach, Scott Taylor. And the proudest walk you'll ever make as a curler is the World Championship. And what a year it's been for them ever since they went undefeated at the Ontario Tankard.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kate Casey, President of the World Curling Federation, who bring us greetings and congratulations.
Here in Jakobshalle Arena. This is our first World Championships to take place here in Basel, and I most certainly hope it will not be our last. The championship has been quite exceptional, which began with a unique opening parade through the city. To the local organising committee, under the excellent joint chairmanship of Bruno Schallberger and Christoph Sorchen, together with all the officials, ice crew, TV crew, media, webcasters, and not forgetting the wonderful volunteers who have all worked tirelessly to ensure the success of this championship. Thank you on behalf of the World Curling Federation and our 49 member associations. To all the sponsors and the wonderful city of Basel, very many thanks for your support. To the athletes, you have once more showcased our sport at the highest level and displayed the true spirit of curling, both on and off the ice. And I have to say, what a fantastic final. Thank you. And finally, to you the fans, you have been great. Thank you. It only leaves me now to congratulate the 2012 World Men's Curling Champions, Team Canada. Well done.
Could I now call upon Liv Oman, Vice President of the Swedish Curling Association, to present the bronze medals to Team Sweden.
The Swedish team, of course, had to overcome so much when they arrived here, and without, Nicholas Edin, their skip, was here, but could not play because of the pinched nerve in his back, Linda. They tried to play him in a couple of games, one of them against Canada, and he just could not make it. And now I'm sure he's watching from a hospital bed here in Basel and seeing his team pick up the bronze medal.
And we wish Nicholas all the best, but what a great job this team did. They tried hard, and in the bronze medal had to fight hard. A Norway team that's very experienced. Sebastian Kraup did it, got the bronze.
Just to win a bonspiel of any kind without your skip, but to be third in the world, that's unbelievable.
And for the silver medalists again, and I'm not sure whether last year's was more difficult to accept or this one will be, Linda, for Scotland.
I think this one's tough because in the 10th, Tom Brewster had the winning stone in his hand, and he knows a little more curl, a little less weight, and that title could be his.
But if there was ever a shot that they were going to lose on, you would think that it would be one that was maybe a little too heavy. That's always sort of been the characteristic of the Scots.
Yeah, that was a tough shot, though, Vic. And his first one impressed me, that hit and roll 6 feet right behind the guard. Tom's a wonderful player. We're going to hear more from this young team.
And I'm not sure it's a statistic, of course, and people will look at it, but he becomes the first skip to lose back-to-back world championships and wind up with a silver medal. Greg Drummond had another wonderful game. And Tom Brewster, wonderful young man, but once again is a silver medalist here at the Worlds.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Laura Lochansky, Chair of the Canadian Curling Association, to present the gold medals to Team Canada.
Well, this Canadian team, of course, had to make a change after last year, having lost Richard Hart to replace him with Wayne Maddaw. And after all that heartbreak, of course, for Glenn, and losing so many finals, to then come through and win the Tim Hortons Brier over Kevin Cooey, the 2010 champion. And there now next is Wayne Maddaw, and boy, has he ever fit in.
Think of the doubles he made, the great doubles to set up the deuce in 7. The double he made in 10, or they lose the game if he doesn't make the double. Wayne Maddaw was MVP in this game.
And for Wayne, of course, he wins as a second, a third as a skip, and it's a 4th world championship 25 years later for Glenn Howard.
The World Championship trophy to Team Canada.
President of the World Curling Federation, Kate Caithness, with a little help. Well, there are a bunch of boys there that'll gladly help you lift it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Canada.
Canada wins the World Men's Curling Championship here in Basel. Father and son celebrate.
The 2012 World Men's Curling Championship is brought to you by Ford, official automotive partner of the Canadian Curling Association.
Canadians are crazy about curling, and so are their kids. Thanks to the Capital One Rocks and Rings program, thousands of kids across Canada have learned about curling in their elementary schools. From coast to coast, Rocks and Rings has kids screaming, "Hurry hard!" and having a great time doing it. Our instructors get kids active and excited to learn about a new sport. The kids love it, the teachers love it, and the best part is, the whole program comes to you. To get Rocks and Rings in your school, visit rocksandrings.com.
Picked the kids up from school, bought groceries, laundry's done, and dinner's ready in 10. It works for me.
After a long day at the office, it gives me the boost to power through my workout. It works for me.
Try new Works Energy. Works Energy provides a boost of energy that works fast and lasts for hours. It's 0 calories, contains 0 sugar, and tastes great too. Our name says it all. Works Energy will work for you.
Now available at Couche-Tard, Max, and Circle K.
The 2012 World Men's Curling Championship is brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet? By Scotty's, proud supporter of women's curling for over 30 years. And by M&M Meat Shops, hundreds of meal ideas, one aisle.
Canada celebrates a world championship here in Basel, and in a dramatic finish, another extra end game against Scotland as Glenn Howard picks up world championship number 4. Linda Russ alongside. It's tough to watch the national anthem and not get a little bit of a tear in your eye, but congratulations to the Canadians.
They played very well, and you think about the kinds of shots that were required to win that game, and including a great draw in 10 by Glenn Howard just to try and save it, and then the team plays a great 11.
you had to make that delivery, so that's what happened there. It was a great draw, and when you think about Tom Brewster's comment about having been the better team, what do you think?
Well, I think percentage-wise, they probably were, Vic, but you got to make them at the right time. Tom missed a bad one at the end. They scored the 3, and Glenn just hung on with that freeze. Tom almost won the World Championship, just a foot heavy.
Well, congratulations to Glenn Howard and the entire team for their World Championship win, and thank you everyone for joining us for another wonderful season. So till we talk with you again next year, the Men's World Curling Championship presented by Ford of Canada is here on Canada Sports Leader, TSN.
There's no fear of the course. You've got to attack it this week. It's going to be a birdie fest.
That's exactly what it was on a scoring Saturday at Augusta.
Right in the middle, never a doubt.
Will it? Yes.